So you guys should probably you probably realize where you are, but I'll recap. And so we took the mission of 1 of 5 to go to the Mintaka asteroids and figure out who is raiding the Sakai mines there. And after we arrived, we got to Camp Walker Red Giant, and we noticed that there was only about a half a dozen immunes there, and they were in their own little turmoil. 5 of, I think, the half dozen wanted to see one of the people, and Dima, either slain or taken away someplace under the authority of the Battleborn, dropped off in Draconis. The head of the system became our buddy when we found an untapped Sakai mine and then notified them that they have another source of income. We wandered around the map, clearing a lot of old drones, a lot of old missiles. We hit a few spots where we hit by antimatter, and we have got a general idea that we're in the center section from top, middle, and bottom, and we're going through the middle section of the map. You can see from your own limitations with an epic table that there's only maybe 4 or 5 squares before we get to another map edge. So somewhere within 20 map squares.
Right.
Are you guys hearing me on any of that or not?
I'm hearing you.
Oh, terrific. Okay, because I heard Mike in the background. I thought he was not hearing. So you guys are right in the middle here. We're gonna take Fred off the hook. Thank you, Fred. And we're going to pass the baton to Conrad. We're going to make Conrad make the main stuff. Not that he will be the patron of the mission, or not even the lead character. That we're following with Rusty's stats for that. But Conrad,
Fred, could you give Conrad the clue again of where we were supposed to go? We got a clue towards the end of the game last session.
Yeah, do you remember, Conrad, that you're going to be in probably straight geographic, or I call it elliptical east, to find your objective, probably. But you certainly don't need to take the direct route if you think I've trapped it in many ways. But that one untapped Sakai mine, you can see the Dauntless Perisher is. I moved it off of the untapped Sakai mine. You guys started to make a cartel there to mine that ore. You really have about 7 out of 8 functions you need to restore, but those are all things we can do during downtime, where you can continue to make rolls and continue to try to profit from that. And any other questions? We'll get started.
So you said, Red, we're east of, or the thing we're looking for, as best we can determine, is east.
Is elliptical east of the Dauntless Perisher. That is correct.
Okay, and the compass says east is just to the right, or is that?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I threw in the word elliptical east because you're in 3 dimensions here. Yeah, and you're in 3 dimensions here, so there is no east.
We just wanted to be sci-fi east. There's east.
Pencil handy. It's pencil handy.
It's Pencilarian. All the terms. Harlan Ellison would not be a great writer if he didn't pick the right terms. So
it's Starward or Starboard.
It's Starward. Yes, yeah. It's off of the the bow is where you're going to take your first shot here.
All right, so
well,
I guess the most east I can go, I suppose, is here.
You can go straight east if you want along the edge of the wormhole routes. That certainly is open to you. You cannot. You can go south like that if you wish. Let me see. Open up some Fog of War here. It's never as easy as you would hope, is it? I think you got hit by a double dose there, Conrad, of bad things.
I believe that was Rusty that got hit by the double dose. This is his jacket, not mine.
Yeah. Well, let's start with the antimatter explosion and find out how we get out of that.
First of all, we've reset everything, all of our...
we reset all the traits, but we did not reset the wounds. So just a reminder, Tony and I are wounded and Fred is wounded. Tony and I, though, as crews, we reset our durable on that. Anyone else took a wound? Mike, you didn't take a wound, did you?
Nope, I don't even think I didn't even take a durable. I'm out of make rolls, but...
And Conrad, you were close, but you were not... and yeah, don't reset your make rolls, because this is the same mission, not a new one. At any time we can quit. So if there's anyone that needs to be protected at the moment, it'll be the Terran, Fred. So to the south we go, and let me look. I've got the I got the A-bomb marker. Something catastrophic occurs, possibly related to the unstable Sakai drifting through the sector. First time it is crossed. I think we're up to difficult, right? So yeah, this is the one where we have something that we're going to possibly lose on our ship that gets hit. So I roll
This
a
is
D8.
this is the fifth one we've hit.
It is, but
We've crossed off 5. This is the 6th.
If we don't lose anything, the rolls don't get easier because we still got a bigger ship. It's as we slowly lose parts of our ship that you start to see. So our prize cargo. So we took one right in the cargo hold. I'm going to start with Conrad, and you just need a difficult roll based on display of skill in order to save the prize cargo. We get once around the table to try to do it. So Conrad, what do you do to try to save the prize cargo?
So difficult to save, tasking to save and pick up a swagger?
Sure. That would be 14. It's a tough roll.
Yeah, it is a tough roll. So we'll stay with this. We'll stay with the. Well, difficult's only a 12, right?
Difficult's only a 12. I'll tell you what I'll do. If we'll go around the table regardless and allow people to roll to see if they can pick up swaggering. We still want to try to save the prize cargo and not lose L. But what would you like to do to try to save that, sir?
Well, let's go with the no blue smoke it.
Okay, that's not something you have, or is that something you have?
I do not have.
Okay, so go ahead and give me 2 dice of a 12 and try. Well, if it's not something you have, then you shouldn't actually be using it. So apply a trait or a skill or a swagger that you have. And the swagger would be one you'd risk.
I'll fall back to my standard jury rig with the no blue smoke.
Yeah, of course. Why don't you get rid of the parts that are smoking on the robots that are that organize and move the prize cargo around to keep it from who knows? Maybe it's wine and it's spilling.
And there's
you have easily made the roll, which is great. The prize cargo is. And now I'm going to give everyone a free chance. And Laura, I'm going to start with you. On a roll of a 14, you can pick up any swaggering. What swaggering would you like to pick up? It should be related to saving the prize cargo, but we already know that Conrad has done it. And she's thinking.
Containment?
That's offensive plasma.
Oh, okay.
Well, it'd be tough to use plasma to save the cargo.
Let's see.
You probably could justify it some way.
But it's not like we haven't heard that before.
Vice grips.
Vice grips, and make sure you secure the cargo. Very good. Give me a 14 and see if you pick up vice grips. Now, this is something you don't have, correct, Laura?
No, I do not.
Okay, see if you pick up vice grips on a 14.
Nope.
And Mike, what would you like to try to pick up saving cargo?
I'm going to try and pick up the extruding nozzle because I, of course, am. She was going to use the vice grips to secure it, and I was going to use more foam.
Use rubber cement. Go ahead and see if you can make a roll of 14 to pick up your rubber cement function.
No 3D printer for me.
And I go over to Fred. Fred, go ahead and pick a swaggering technique and try to roll an almost impossible 14 to pick it up. Which one would you like to try?
For sparks odor free. This is 2d8.
Sure, you're going to make sure that the robots are not overheating, right?
I'm going to take care of the sparks.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and give me a 14 and see if we pick it up. Someone's got to get lucky. Tony,
what's with all the red dice, man? Come on, what's up with the red dice?
Because Battleborn's colors are crimson and silver.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to try to make this a little bit easier for whoever's behind me. Is this
you can. Didn't we say you can make an ordinary roll and give me a chance at what, +1?
So I'm going to use my vice grips to at least show you to try to give you a +1.
He's still trying to make up for the fact that I willed all my possessions to him, but he then turned around and willed all of our possessions collectively to Conrad's character. What's your name, Conrad, by the way?
Mars.
Mars, yeah, Mars is basically has all our death benefits. Tony, you did not make that 7, unfortunately. I'm going to just make a 14, and the vice script sounds like a great one for a cruise to have, so I'm going to see if I can make that as well, and I did not make it. So all we did was we thanked Conrad for saving the prize.
Where's Rusty?
Yeah,
Rusty's still going to do it.
Forgive me,
dogging Rusty. He can make this roll.
I didn't start it.
I would have helped everybody out, but
I can't
Red
even
wouldn't
say
even
that,
let
man.
me do it.
No, you're going last,
even
Rusty.
say
You're just now probably waking up from nap time, and
I can't even say Rusty made this roll.
and
Okay.
pick
I'm
a skill, Rusty.
gonna use my C cube to pick up C cube.
Now you would like to pick up C cube, correct? You don't have it right now. Okay,
right.
give me 2 dice and make a 14 to coordinate and get us all back in order.
Oh! Oh!
And I will go back to a
fine set
point
of
where
green dice, Rusty.
if I had only used my roll to help the commander would have been through. Oh, actually, I feel bad about that. Have I checked
Or if
those yet?
only Tony had been luckier.
Yeah.
Or if Tony had reminded
You
us.
could have, in fact,
somebody
Tony
else
should have
might
told
have
me
done
to try that anyway, because the only one I need is, it looks like exercising prudence, and that would have been definitely a level 1 prudence for me. Well, live and learn. We still have the encounter, though, because I think this is the worst one. We've handled the antimatter, but we ran into the green fog. So the green fog is like a low die receives like a rank 8 ferocity void. That is about as bad as it gets, I think, in the world. So 2 dice from everyone and see who rolls low. Sorry. Skelly rolled a 4. As much as Fred is trying to save me with his wound, no, I'm the one that's going to take another one of these a very, very ugly. Let's see if I can get to the table here.
That's page 160 something. Sorry, I intended to put that in the table, and I think I forgot.
That's there's no need to apologize, Mike. And we move on to.
You were just thinking we would never hit that table again.
No, I knew we were going to hit that table again. That's why I intended.
That's
to
the way I would think it. I just flipped a knave, which has got to be the worst one you can flip on this table. Looks like my durable is going to be in question. Okay, so lose what you think was a limb, lots of blood, but it may be. It may not be an appendage. I hope it's not an eye stalk. Fail and suffer vicious. Regardless, character is pinned, so that means I'm going to suffer a -1, possibly preventing maintenance if I also fail this. Ref. Oh boy, should I read this next line? Ref may decide that all players in the squad must attempt this roll, yet the difficulty decreases by 4. Now, last time I did this, and the difficulty decreased by 4, but I'm going to say I'm going to take the full brunt of it all by myself. Now, do I have a J on the ship? I look at the squad overview. We do not have intruder free. Do I have a J in my own collection? I have an I, which the Romans would say would be a J, but no. So I'm going to try to pick up. What is a J? I'm going to try to pick up vice grips. If I roll a 14, a 13 for vice grips. Here comes my 2 dice. And I have missed, so I have now lost my durable. Started right in the first 10 minutes of the game, taking what could have been a vicious wound for myself. And now I move back to Conrad, saying, thank you, Conrad. I didn't know that going straight east meant go to the south, but live and learn.
He was trying to avoid the asteroids.
Well, no, because we were on the Sakai map. We're on the edge of the map. Is that, if I'm reading it correctly, or no? We got plenty east to go. Oh gosh,
we got plenty of. We got at least 4 or 5 squares of east to go.
Okay, so there we go. Let's go. Let's just go here then. I'm sorry. So I'm more into the green, aren't I? That's
no.
Not
You
good.
want to go. You want to go north or northeast, but you don't want to go east from there.
All right, let's see where we ended
Didn't
up.
hurt me. I don't know what everybody's complaining about.
Yeah, sometimes it's just bad luck these people have. You can't be accountable for all the bad luck in the world. Okay, this is going to be a little bit squirrely.
Remind you that we can quit anytime you want. I mean,
yes, you can quit at any time you want, and don't think I won't. Okay, so I'm gonna just retreat us back a little bit because we found a tiny little shuttle base. It looks long abandoned, but there's just enough residual, white noise about the place to make you think that there's either something to be gained by going down there or something to be lost by going down there. And this call we're going to let Rusty make because it's going to end up with jump and die on a new table if you guys, if Rusty says we go.
Oh, we're gonna go because if it's got something useful, our mine is right next to it. So
it is. That's true, and we don't want a little base, suddenly becoming active again next to our mine. On that regard, Rusty just justified prudence for me, so I'm going to take that. The fact that, of course, it's prudent to make sure you're clearing out possible enemy mines, no matter how bad this.
It's at level 2.
Yes. Well, yeah, sure. Level 2, prudence. That'll be fine for everyone.
How about level 3?
Yeah, Rusty, since you're commander, sure.
Okay.
Let me grab the jump and die table here. They're not fun like the old
all
game.
This is all upside going into this base. Does
This
anyone
is
else?
actually on page
Does anyone else?
204.
Does anyone else feel bad about it? It's
No,
like,
at least you go in.
it's like inviting
He
trouble.
would kill us now.
See if I can find Conrad's
It's all
character
ignobles.
here.
Just think of it
I
that
see
way.
Greg. I see Bruce. Are you the
The
only
yellowish
Conrad?
one.
Yellowish one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just grab. Laura. Laura's the. We're gonna make Laura the ground commander for this, just to spice things up.
What page is Jump and Die on? That's not...
It starts on 204, and we'll start with our commander, Rusty. What would you like to do? And now on this, you do not. I should say it is not what you want to do. We're gonna flip a card. I'm gonna read it because this is a group activity to get down to the planet. So I'm gonna get a 3 for us. It is not a Bane, and that's nice. And that 3 under Baumgartner drop. Let's see what it says. I'm posting it for us, and it says redirect the enemy interceptors. Where do those come from? Yes, as soon as we start to drop on the base, its ancient defense systems activate. Hide in the brilliance of the local moon, sun, or sheen of your much larger vessel. It would be our much larger vessel. Success for the Fury Pip. Regardless, continue with breakout. We've made it down. Okay, well, that's a great thing no matter what. Is the ship rid of malware? C. Probably not. Doesn't sound like something we would do. No, it's not. And Rusty, have you already used your little flare? Not that it matters.
Yeah, I used it last week.
Well, that regardless that the ship continues in breakout means that Rusty has successfully led us in Jump and Die down to the area of the outside of the shuttle base. Now, would you like to? Somebody needs to open sort of the front door. And it's going to take either swaggering A, H, J, or Q. Those are the 4 that actually work to open doors, breaches. A, H, J, or Q. And before you quickly volunteer, the person that tries could possibly lose their ability unless it's locked.
I got A and it's locked.
You got A and it's locked. Well, we should let Fred step.
So I'll use Verdigris on Savvy.
So let's go to the table of calculated actions. And do you have these in the
Yes.
in the tool? Okay, and why don't you bring us up an A then, Mike?
Ready?
Fred, we're gonna do a couple of tests first. Do you have any other A's besides
No, just Grenadier and it's glorious.
just Grenadier and the Savvy, I guess? And roll me 2 dice. High is better.
Okay. I could back it up with. You said the other one was what? J.
A, H, J, or Q.
Yeah, you.
I got a J in Union Certified.
You could. That would actually be a separate action to open it up. We're going straight with the ordnance here if you're picking A rather than some other,
I got
wear and tear. So
and J too.
Plus, you can use your traits to bump the numbers up, or your pluses up. You might.
I got Saboteur. So
you could use your traits, but do you want to hold on to them for something later? I'm still looking for that calculated action. Here it is. Okay, list of calculated actions. And Fred, you need to. This is almost a nearly impossible roll. You don't have under warranty, you don't have ordnance, you don't have biowar fearnoms. We're not zilch on our leans, and we don't have a proxy with the Verdigris. I would say that if your lock is glorious, you
kill Saboteur.
Yeah, but the way I would justify that in the game is the fact that it isn't like you have to open one little portal. It's like you have to open the town of a suburb inside of Phoenix. The scale on everything in the game is so astronomically great that you're not just putting down one bomb here. You're trying to destroy a major city block and bring it down. So before you roll, because there is a chance that you could take a vicious wound. In fact, there's a greater chance you're going to take a vicious wound before you get to Quell I will allow you to. Do you have one make roll left or not?
I have one make roll left. I guess we'll do that now.
You could make roll and call it a 16. I'll give you that for this to open the door.
16's what you're going to need to open the door, Fred.
I would say probably, Fred, again, if we're trying to protect you, you might want to back off, play more support role this whole game until we get out of the adventure, because that second wound is going to end you, and then let somebody else who's has not taken a wound, who may also have make rolls, step forward.
I'll just be safe and use the make roll.
Okay, but if you use the make roll, you won't have it later when I say roll an 8.
Probably, because I'm close to getting another level.
Okay.
Easy come, easy go.
Easy come, easy go. It's fine. Go ahead and make that 16 and open up that brief.
Is there anything we can freestyle as skills or traits to give Fred a bonus on his die roll?
I have to use a die roll because I was using a make roll.
No, Fred.
He's going to use a make roll, so.
Okay.
Yeah, Fred is going to open up the city block and get this rubble out of the way. Mike can answer your question not without chance of losing swaggering.
So he would have had to do another swagger on it.
You would have to do another calculated on it, and the calculated that actually would give the fury to somebody else. You're probably going to have to roll a 15 on that, right?
Let me think. Fury.
Get the tactics pip.
Tactics. Well, escape, move, flee, gain tactics.
It's an E. It would be magnetic pulse, no blue smoke, gold brick, active cell.
And you need a 16 on that, yeah.
Right. So, and that pinned here would represent the fact that you're left behind. But let me open up a little bit more of this fog of war here so you can see what you're dealing with.
Which map are we on? Still Mintaka Climax?
Yeah, same.
Okay.
And we have Tony's favorite thing. How do you work the subway, Tony?
Oh God!
It's only one button.
Hit up. Always hit up.
All right, so I take it we're all going to go down the tunnels after the shuttle port, right? What's the worst that can happen?
Is there a new map that I'm supposed to be looking at?
No, it's all right on the Mitakan map. You want me to hit the? Do you see where the Dauntless Perisher is?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. It's small. It's not going to be overwhelming there. It's smaller, it looks like, than the Dauntless Perisher, the area you're going into.
That little blue line, that's the subway.
And there's also a Laura there to show us where we are.
I don't see any lines for the subway.
I'm seeing the one blue line, and it's kind of on the
blue line with a white circle around it.
Move the Dauntless Perisher over a quarter inch, Tony, so we see that you're in the same place on the map we're at.
Yeah, I moved it right. Nope.
Okay, now look right over to the northeast of that. And you see where Laura's character is, or do I need to reload the map?
Yeah, no, I see that, yeah.
And do you see the little blue line?
I see the hex grid, but that's it.
Huh.
Are you on the Mintaka Climax map?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, he's moving that.
I'm moving to the right a little bit.
I'm gonna unlock that. You don't see this blue thing I just moved?
I do.
Nope.
I see the blue thing, but it didn't move.
I didn't see it move. I just see it though.
I saw red move Laura's character.
Yeah, that's about it.
You're just gonna have to trust us then, I guess, for the moment,
Okay.
because you're glitching. And I'm gonna move Laura then down this tunnel eventually, and did I lock that again? I did. Okay, so now Laura, into the tunnel you go, and you're gonna hit the button to get to the end of it, I assume, right? Ride the little cars, like it's Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Oh, do we get to shoot things while we're riding?
Sure, you can shoot the walls. You can shoot the what would Skywalker say? Womp rats. It's a yes or no question. I didn't hear the answer, Laura.
I said, sure, I'm not wounded yet.
There you go. That's what we want to hear.
She's back. Laura's back.
We want to hear people say, "I'm not wounded yet."
I'm gonna lose a foot, aren't I, Laura? God darn it.
Laura's back.
I think an ear would be better.
Two hands, 2 legs,
See a little bit
parrot.
of that.
Do you see that? More of that now, Tony, or not?
I now see the corner. Yeah.
Okay, very good. It must be like a fog of war problem, because I've actually exposed 2 more parts of this little underworld here. So we enter a matrix area that we need to deactivate and find out what it's actually doing here. And you sort of realize that it's controlling 3 total sensor arrays in the system. So this is something very significant and very, very covert. It could be a G-salt base that we're messing with, or it could be some ancient thing. Right now, we don't have any idea until we finish this matrix hack. Let me go into that table, and this is another collective one that we do as a party. And Q&D matrix hack. I'll let everyone around the table check an ignoble for going into this mine, because it's pretty brave.
Adventure?
Sure.
So describe that, Red. Was it just going into the mine?
Going into these ancient, this ancient base inside of the asteroid field is, I consider, adventure, or some other ignoble if you just...
How about experience beyond weird?
Yeah.
Not really.
It's just because it's the typical tunnel? Oh.
Yes, it's because it's old technology. It's not a new technology.
Okay, I'll take it.
I could add something in the tunnel that would be, like some sort of scary monster that would be experienced beyond weird. But no, the matrix hack is really what we're hitting here first. I flip a card.
Leading them in.
I'm sorry, Laura?
How about leadership for leading them in?
Sure, Laura. You're not level 3 yet, right?
Nope. That's
Okay.
Just dinged me to level 3.
And the level 3 is fine for you, Conrad. Fred, we want to desperately get you a level out of this.
Yeah, can I get heroics of destiny for that thing with the door?
Sure, I'll let you. Well, have you taken heroics before, after you've been wounded, or not?
No, it's just the two.
Yes, well, at other levels. This is I made
Check that, isn't it?
level 2 check.
How about if we give you heroics if we clear this whole thing, which we probably would do.
How about cunning ploy skills then for that?
All right, well, I'll give you that instead of this for going down in the tunnels, the cunning employs. And the first card we're going to deal with is a maiden matrix hack, and it's not a bane. We're getting lucky here. Boy, you should have seen the cards that were coming up when I was just testing to make sure the connection was well. Hacking matrix hack, and I flip this, and it says condition legal reprobate. Do we have any legal reprobates in the group?
Nope.
Legal
free fall of all. The guts of the thing are being grafted and repurposed to repair surrounding external processes. Success to gain the command pip, but only if we start with the condition of legal reprobate. No legal reprobates to talk to the computer matrix?
Don't have that skill.
Okay, I'm going to assume that's a 0, and we're going to go on to the next card flip. The next card flip is going to be a queen, and the condition for that is going to be Minuteman. Does anyone have the skill Minuteman?
I have Minuteman.
As do I.
Okay, well then we'll go around the table and we'll resolve this. Go ahead and read it, Mike.
Overclock your mind, probably with some stimulants, but mostly being the ghost taskmaster of a nearby machine. Success to gain tactics pip. Flare, if the target number is still above 0 in a half D8 rounds. Pause for ref's die roll.
Yes, well, I'll call it a 2. On the worst side. So we got 2 rounds to finish this, or we're going to lose the robotics that control our soft serve ice cream.
Condition skill Minuteman, which we have, difficulty 10, advantage, tin head sparks or odor free. H.
And which is a way of actually getting through breaches. So go ahead and using the automated miners. Go ahead and see if you make that 10, Mike.
Okay, I don't have that tin head swaggering, so I'll just roll an 11.
And roll an 11 and pick it up, which is really nice. We picked up +1 for the tactics.
I can't pick up a tin head swagger as a chimer, correct? So I would pick up savvy instead.
No, you pick up EE suit.
Oh, I'll take plasma torch.
And you pick up whatever the H for EE suit is. You said it's plasma torch. I'll trust you for the moment.
Plasma torch.
Terrific. And I go, Fred, I take it you do not have Minuteman?
No. So could I use a code patch?
Yeah, right now we're looking for the condition of Minuteman. Tony, you say you have Minuteman, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so this is an opportunity on a roll of a 10 that you would pick up a tactics pip with a tactics pip, which would deactivate this matrix security. So you can win the battle here for us if you roll that 10. You also pick up the tin head swaggering.
Can I actually just use Hatchet Man and get 3 dice for the advantage?
if Hatchet Man is a savvy, and I assume it is, and
It
it
is.
is also an H, then sure, yeah.
Okay. Then I'll try to
Dice
do that.
for 10.
There you go.
And so there goes the matrix that we're worried about. Where I'm making this way too easy for us, right? And it's finally we can actually study the sensor array and pick up what information is being sent and where. Somebody give me a roll based on skill. I'll go back to Fred. Fred, give me a roll based on skill on how you would figure out from a sensor array what information it's transmitting. We've taken the security off of it, so you got free reign.
Are you muted, Fred?
I would use engineer skill for 3 dice. Is that correct?
Well, it's going to be a roll of a 7
on 2 dice, okay.
And you actually have a skill that can justify it then.
Okay,
so 7 is good. Terrific, and there's how you probably picked up that display of skills in savoir-faire. Now, the sensor array is actually sending back technical data on what's being mined illegally, and it's going in the general vicinity of Camp Walker Giant Star. But you notice there's about 3 or 4 other orbitals around Mintaka, and one of them has a secret base on it. But you do pick up a little bit of the transmission that you might be able to do a voice imprint or some sort of test to find out which of the 6 immunes back on Camp Walker Giant Star are actually involved, if any of them are. So does everyone follow what's happening here?
Yeah, this would be easier if we were GSOL and had the relevant...
Sure, everything would be easy if you're GSOL.
So basically you're telling us it had their cell phone number encoded in the line.
Yeah, in a way it's a cell phone number. In a way, what it is, it's just the tonnage reports and where to pick up the mine that the Verdigris have illegally contacted, acquired, and it's all the things that would just say that you got a traitor. I'm going to leave the little base there, but I'm gonna eliminate the.
So I have a question about that then.
Yes.
The information is being fed back. It's being fed back to the walkers, we believe, right?
Well, in this case, it won't be sent to the walkers.
Is it reporting on our Sakai mine?
No, it's our Sakai wine was. This has been here for, let's say, 100 years. So for 100 years, while the minerals in the areas have been stolen, this is basically a covert listening post that will say, "Here's how much ore has been taken by the Verdigris. Here's how much profit we are owed from it."
I see. So I was thinking maybe, just to screw over the walkers for fun. We start.
Well, I don't know why we want to screw up the walkers. They're actually our friends now in this game.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah,
I was going to
friendly with
suggest we program it to send false reports back.
Yeah, it's one of these guys. We already revealed that Wolf. We already exposed Wolf. I can't remember if we had him arrested or punished or whatever way. But someone, Arva Brandt Degama, who and then Xena, everyone would love to see Xena be tossed from the base. Hemingway, Owen, Pindar, and Raleigh, and I can go back through those guys if we decide to continue the mission all the way back to find out who the rival was for this.
In my notes, Wolf was punished.
Yeah, Wolf was punished. Yeah. I can't remember how he was punished. If they just put him, had him surrender his agonizer, or did they put him in the middle of Mintaka and see if he could breathe? Took away
his ice cream dispensing card.
Which way would you like to head from here?
I assume that's back to Sky Commander or Fleet Commander.
Yes, Sky Commander Mars.
Sky Commander Mars.
Mars has said, I think I'm going to go. I think I'm going to follow a general course of going this direction. And we say, that's not a bad way to go. And where to from there?
Nothing there. Interesting. Well, Rusty's he's just piloting the devil out of the ship. Let's do that. Let's go Pain.
Hang. Okay. I'm gonna interpret that as this.
Never good when he can interpret.
Yeah,
it's
never good when I can interpret that you're, sort of went. We drifted a little bit north. Or elliptical north, right, Mike? I'm gonna blame Mike as our navigator. That he, because we know he's not the pilot. That would be Moradin. It's certainly not me. I'm not navigating.
And we're looking for something in the east, correct?
Correct.
Let me see how much space. And there's still plenty of east, right? Or no? I'm seeing the end of the map?
There are 2 more spaces.
Wow. Okay. Well, then let's go back to here, which we know is safe.
Yes.
And then let's go to here.
I will give you one chance to say you would rather do it something else.
Yeah, they hit green.
I would rather do something else.
No, it was the correct answer.
It was the
what
correct.
Am I saying? Don't worry about that.
I would turn to my commander and ask him, I have to go to the bathroom, man.
Or
No, we're not going to turn her. All right, so we find something that it probably isn't to scale. I hope it's not to scale. If this was to scale, it's as big as 3 or 4 neutron stars. And this is obviously the base we're looking for. So this is the hub where the Verdigris aliens are bringing the Sakai, and we realize that we're about to die.
Their base will belong to us.
This mother may be to scale. Maybe it's all relative. It's certainly bigger than the Dauntless Perisher. It seems to have lots of weapon batteries, has lots to protect. But now you got actual evidence of the crime. You can either demand blackmail reward from them, or you can try to flee as quickly as you can back the way you came. Rusty.
Oh, I'm in charge now?
Well, you got to make the decision on whether we're going to try to, with bravado, tell them
Rusty is Sarge
to you, and we want our cut, or just immediately run.
We who are about to die salute Rusty.
Oh, I think.
I got you here, Rusty. That's all I can say, man.
I think we definitely want to be bought off. I think, bribed.
Oh gosh. Okay. That was the wrong answer. Let me roll an 8 die and see what part of the ship is destroyed.
Oh, not the ice cream.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We lost the PAV.
The what?
We fought so hard to keep it all these years. And I go back to
shot the PAV first, our main cannon.
Yes, unfortunately we lost our main cannon. All right, so here's the deal. We're going to make a ship-to-ship Q&D evade escape the bad guy. Our target number this time is 3. So we got to do this long enough to get 3 results of escape. Not too hard, right?
Ship-to-ship flee bad guy, right?
Flee bad guy.
Q&D?
It's right above, I believe, the matrix hack. I'm going to see if I can scroll up to it.
It's in full too.
No, it's way beyond that. What's the page number, Mike?
Not seeing it.
All right, let me grab it. It's going to be
179.
179. Thank you. I got there about the same time. 184 is where I got evade. All right, so this is another a communal destruction. We're going to flip looking for conditions, and when we get the right conditions, we can reduce that target number. If we bring it to 0 without all of us dying, that would be a good day for us. Let's start with the first flip of the card, a 3. So far, we have not flipped any Banes, which is amazing. But I'm going to let Rusty read this one.
See, play chicken. Fire forward thrusters and rotate 180 degrees, allowing opponent to overtake on a ramming course. Success for the Fury Pip. Condition, skill, meridian, difficulty 8, advantage, tin head, Linux inspired. Okay.
All right, do we have any Myrmidons in the group?
Nope.
Let's see, Myrmidons. No, I am Linux let's see, am I Linux inspired? Let's see.
It wouldn't matter, Rusty, because if you're not a Myrmidon, you wouldn't be able to remove the console and move it to a different location so that the tin head inspired could give you the 3 dice for the dice roll. If we don't have any Myrmidons, all it is a system pass. Later on, when we're all super high level, maybe we'll have one. I'm going to check my skills really quick, and I see I thought I was 2 skills, but I don't see my 2 skills anymore. Oh, here they are. I'm actually 3 skills. I'm jetpack and sniper and veteran, but I am not a Myrmidon. No Myrmidons.
I am a Myrmidon.
Oh, Conrad is a Myrmidon. How could Conrad be a Myrmidon? Success for the Fury Pip for you, Conrad. That would be really nice to have. It's only a roll of an 8, and this is a major battle, and this is a time maybe you want to employ some of those trait benefits. Just saying.
Okay, so let us see. I will pick up. So I'll gain the Fury Pip.
Okay, which means if you gain the Fury Pip a second time, we're going to have a flare involved with that. I'm going to look that up for you.
Okay, so I'm looking for a 6 on 2 dice, right? And I rolled a 10.
Let's see. Double Fury. Fury. You made a Fury and you made it again. A second result of Fury will gain a dispatch, but more will cancel a condition. So we have reduced the target number by 1. So
did anyone see my roll by any chance?
It's a 10.
I did.
Yeah, I saw it. It's 10. And you also, with that, pick up, Linux-inspired tin head controls of that residual.
I blipped off for just a second on my wireless. That's why I was...
Any other Myrmidons in the group that could possibly pick up the Fury? No, I'm going to flip a card.
Conrad, did you hear that you pick up Linux-inspired?
I did. I already checked.
Yeah,
all right.
Fred, are you saying you are a Myrmidon?
No, I'm not a Myrmidon.
No, he's just saying he saw my roll.
Oh, okay. Thanks. I was just distracted and looking away. And finally, because I called out that how desperately we wanted to have Banes, we have our first.
So these are posted in reverse order. Read the bottom one first, and then the one right above it, which is the Bane Flare.
Okay. And it is a 7. So escape the bad guys is 7. Does anyone have the condition of savvy détente? It's an L. Let's look at our squad overview. Yes, we're all prize cargo, so we all have that. That is a blessing. So we can all roll this around the table. Let's start with Rusty. Rusty, go ahead and read us the hold your gun text, please.
Hold a gun to your own head by hiding behind an innocent. Maneuver the ship in position to shield yourself in something the attackers may not want to destroy, such as civilians, delicate satellites, populated planets with plenty of nuns and orphans, etc. Even parts of your own ship or yourselves as prisoners may be a prize worthy of capture, and be that shield. Success to lower the target by 1. Condition: savvy détente, difficulty 7, advantage tin head Pinocchio.
So we are savvy détente because our ship has prize cargo, which is really nice. And that means that when we saved it, it was really nice. So Rusty, you can roll a 7 and reduce the target number by 1.
Now,
but also
rolls,
because it's inverted as a regular card for it, but failure also causes vicious wounds or a loss of any swaggering. So you have a choice to roll this or not, Rusty.
But somebody's going to have to.
Somebody's going to have to. But this is about as good as it gets for us to.
So if I do a make roll, do I pick up tin head Pinocchio?
You do. You pick up S. Sure do.
I will make roll it.
Okay, there's only one target left. I go to Conrad. Conrad, you have savvy détente by virtue of the fact that the ship has prize cargo. You need to roll a difficulty of 7. You have your Fury Pip still, so you need to roll a 5 on 2 dice to pick up Tin Head Pinocchio and end this battle.
I have Tin Head Pinocchio.
Okay, did you want to lock it at Glorious?
So I can lock it Glorious at a 5, or I can roll 3 dice to get the 5.
No,
you can roll 3
dice and lock it.
Or you can roll 3 dice and get the 5.
I have to ask Tony. This is a Tony.
And avoid the vicious wound.
Yeah. Tony, which way do I go, buddy?
Oh, just roll the 2 dice and lock it. Come on. Don't
there
be
it
cowardly.
is. 15, baby.
15, okay. Now, I give anyone else a chance around the table if they would like to try to pick up Tin Head Pinocchio on a roll of a 7, but failure is a vicious wound or a loss of any other swaggering. Now, you can take swaggering off the ship. So, Laura.
Oh, I thought it was a vicious wound.
It's also causing a vicious wound or the loss of any swaggering. At least one person needs
prize cargo would have been gone, baby.
Laura, would you like to try to roll a 7
Whole integrity
on
gone.
and pick up Tin Head Pinocchio?
Take it, Laura. Go for it.
Roll in the chat if you wish to roll.
She said no. Why tempt fate?
Mike,
What happened?
Mike, a 7 to
happened
pick
to
up
Laura?
Tin Head.
Who stole Laura?
Laura's saving her good rolls.
Who stole Laura?
Don't we have a Fury Pip?
Get her back!
No. You don't have the Fury Pip. Conrad had the Fury Pip. You can get the Fury Pip by using your Spirited.
Yeah, just roll it. I'll take my wound.
You want to take your wound, or do you want to take off
the
swagger?
swaggering technique, Mike.
Yeah, I'll take a swagger.
Okay, which
It
one?
doesn't have to be yours. It can be the one from the ship.
Yeah, you take one from the ship. The ice cream, right? You've hated the ice
That's
cream.
the ice cream.
Yeah,
You
all
take-
of it.
Integrity.
You've hated the ice cream since the very beginning, I hear.
You could have taken a
Oh, I think Laura doesn't understand. If she can't get Tin Head swaggers, isn't it something else then?
Yeah, if she can't get Tin Head swagger, then she takes EE suit.
No, not for Skia. She gets funky powers for that.
She gets funky power.
We're gonna go back around and test Laura again since she had a little bit of confusion. But Mike, what do you want to lose? Do you want to lose the soft serve ice cream off the ship or one of your own swaggering?
Lose the break room coffee machine.
Soft serve off the ship because then Conrad
man.
will say no, and so will Fred.
Oh, that's bad.
The soft serve is such an incentive that by offering a dose of that, though, you can end breaches with that. That's sort of sad, Mr. Keimer. Okay, I go over to Fred. Fred, you can roll 2 dice for a 7 and pick up Tin Head Pinocchio. S. Go ahead and pick it up. Tony, go ahead. Roll 2 dice for a 7 and pick it up.
So that is now glorious.
You're now locked at Glorious, even better.
There you go.
And I will roll a 7. And I have rolled a 6, so I would lose a swaggering or take a vicious. That vicious would kill me, so I'm going to have to lose a swaggering. Unfortunately, we lost the prize cargo through my own fault. And did I do Rusty yet? I don't think I've done Rusty yet, right?
No, I was the first one, and when
That's right,
I
you
took
dropped it. I'm back to Laura. Laura, S, I believe, is Trip. Funky Power Trip. Yeah, it's Funky Power Trip Transport. Do you have that or not?
No, I don't.
That's a glorious one for a Skia to have. You can pick that up on a roll of 7. If we fail, we just lose the fact that we took some taints aboard. Come on, we're gonna get them all back when we start a new mission anyway.
We're still in the big battle right now, right?
Well, yeah, we're still in a big battle theoretically. It's gonna end because we made
then we made our 3 to escape.
But this is the last one of the.
You lost the ice cream
This
dispenser.
will be the last roll that we're gonna make for the climax, or not for the climax, but for this battle.
All right, then I'll utilize my senses and gain the catbird seed.
Okay, absolutely, you can go ahead and add +3 to that roll. 7 plus -3. You need a 4 or better on 2 dice to pick up a Funky Power Trip. And she makes a 14. She rolled a net of 17. Okay, well, we do have a person now that can trip, which is really good. I look at my ship, and we even have a trip crystal. So, Laura, the world is our oyster. You can go anywhere you want on a roll. I'm going to go back to the main map here, and we have escaped. And I'm going to move us past our own untapped Sakai all the way back to Mintaka. Now, we are really early in this mission. So, we can either do one of two things. We can try to track down who the traitor is on the base. I think it's going to take maybe 30 minutes to 45 minutes to track down the traitor on the base. Or you can go into the epilogue, roll the encounters of the epilogue to get us back to Bogus Blue, and then we'll heal vicious wounds afterward, and we'll leave the mission of figuring out who's the traitor on Mintaka for another day. Which would you like to do? Or, theoretically, you could go back through the epilogue and then accept a new mission to come back to Mintaka to solve this today. But it would take three phases of encounters. So I talked to our main boss, Rusty. We're here at Mintaka. there are 6 possible traitors that are working with the Verdigris. Do you want to try to solve
We've got 2 people with vicious wounds, right?
Yes, unfortunately, we have 3 people with vicious wounds. So
is it 3 or 2?
It's 3.
Okay, we should go back and through the epilogue then, and then we can try and see if we can take another mission, even though we'd have to do the 3 phases to get back here.
That sounds great. Go ahead and you can check prudence for that if you wish.
Oh, Rusty, I'm disappointed in you.
I've already got prudence, I think.
Yes. We won't.
You've already got prudence. No reason to do this. Let's try to find the traitor.
It's and of course Tony's character is a Cruz. 30 seconds from now, he won't remember that we even were at Mintaka. Neither will I.
Right, but if I still needed experiences beyond weird, I would ask for experiences beyond weird for my commander giving up in the middle of a mission.
You would not get it.
Yeah, but
because he's not giving up in the middle of a mission. Look at how much has already been done. This is almost like an added boost to expose the traitor.
We're coming back, guys.
It may be even better that we get the follow-on mission because it'll represent more ignoble chance, and it'll allow us to heal the wounds, and it'll offer us another mission, a chance to prove a mace contact or something.
And our make rolls come back too.
Yeah, and hey, Rusty is even making another aspect of it. But we need to get home in the epilogue. Everyone realizes how to do that, right? We go back to that big map, that wormhole route map. Did we want to
Captain Poulet?
Did we want to take? Does anyone want to take Enzina off of the Mintaka base and drop her off at Draconis like everyone else on the base wants? Anyone going to step forward and do that?
She's the traitor, maybe.
Well, she could be the traitor, which means the mission
is separated.
I'll go around the table with it. Conrad, did you want to try to drug or knock out Enzina and kidnap her from the base, put her on the cargo hull? What would you like to do, sir?
And why would I want to do this? Just because they don't like her?
Giggles.
So if I don't like somebody, like say I didn't like Tony, I would drug him and put him in the cargo hold and ship him across the galaxy.
If you're trying to check growth, yeah, I guess you would say that would be a growth thing. That's what I do now to everyone I don't like. I drug them and I put them in the but the only reason why you would do this would be for an ignoble if you can justify one from it.
Well, I actually have them all clear, so I'd say leave her. I'd say leave her where she is because that way. When we come back to find the traitor, they're all in one place.
Laura, what would you like to do? Would you like to drug or put inside of a dog carrier Enzina, or do you just want to pass?
I think Conrad has a good point. Keep them all together.
Yeah, Conrad has an excellent point. Mike, would you like to drug Enzina, cut her limbs off so she doesn't run away? What would you like to do?
I would like to,
Whoa! Cut her limbs off.
He's not human.
What the heck just happened?
He's. Make sure we realize what we brought aboard here. This thing is a carnivorous, Venus flytrap that we.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
It's here at 10. We could give her implant legs. I would like to cut her legs off and bring her along, but I don't think I can argue with Conrad's logic, so nah.
Okay, that sounds really good. Fred, it's up to you.
Is this, will I get heroics audacity for this?
Yeah, you probably could, but there's a chance you're going to die because you are viciously wounded. She could turn out to be like a level 6 person and be very tough to bring down.
I'd have to throw myself in you.
That's 10. That's even. So yes.
A 10 is even. So you have taken. I'll assume that you're bribed by one of the other guys on the bases to convince her to come along. What do you say to get her to come along? Let's see if we can do this without violence first.
Bureaucracy. I'm gonna use my bureaucracy skill to.
And Fred, I'm gonna do something. Fred, I'm going to do something that I normally don't do. Actually, I do this occasionally, but I don't want to. I might even mute the internet on this because it would be damaging for me. I'm going to let you roleplay this. How do you convince Enzina? I'll give you a minute to convince Enzina and make a logical argument about why she should leave the base. She's in a place she's working. She likes being on she likes the work, but she hates the people she works with. And what will you say to convince her to leave without a problem? Go ahead, Fred.
Okay, I'm going to just mention to her that I talked to her before, so we're kind of on friendly terms. I'll mention to her that a new place might be the best thing for you to get away from these guys over here. That they're actively working to try to get you blamed for things that are going on around here. They hired us to do that. So, we'll be willing to get you out of here and for a favor later.
Go ahead and give me your roll of 7 on 2 dice based on bureaucracy.
Hey, you made it.
Hey, just has one caveat. She says, when I got some pretty valuable research material. Will you help me move it to Draconis?
Yeah, sure. I'll use my scientist skill to help in assisting.
Give me a roll of 7.
On 2d8?
Yep.
No, I fail. Critically.
Okay. So as you're moving the material for the radical scientist, the base commander goes, that's my property. You can't just load it up on your ship and take it with you. That one, unfortunately, you're going to take a point of insanity and a point preventive maintenance cycle, and
okay.
You have lost your proxy with the Journeyman cartel.
Oh,
so
everybody or just
no, just Fred. So Fred, there was you had a swaggering. I believe it's a. It's not. Would I call it a J? It's an R. So your proxy Journeyman R would be gone at the moment. And sorry for that, but you still got Enzina, and you should check an ignoble for convincing the radical scientist to move, even without her gear, to Draconis. You can check profit for that. You can be bought off by the people that wanted her out. You can check adventure for that.
Experience weird.
I'll tell you, I'll give you experience weird if you make one more roll of 7 and you read her research notes.
Okay. Yeah,
So
that's the other thing I was going to mention. So I'm getting access to her research. I'll probably be able to.
yeah, give me a 7, and we'll find out what that research radical research is. A 15. We're okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start with you, Fred, and give me a general idea in terms of is it radical physics? Is it radical biology? Is it radical chemistry? Is it some sort of spiritual thing? And then from that, we'll go around the group and we'll build something as a party on what we found. So, Fred, give me a general idea of what sort of research she had, in broad terms.
She was doing some research on those power crystals we were after. What are they called? The Skia?
Sakai. Okay. So she was looking at Sakai. I go to Tony. What about Sakai was she experimenting with?
Turn it in to radioactive to mutate people.
Oh! So she was looking into eugenics with the Sakai, and I go over to me and I'll say that she was looking to use it for not just eugenics but for genocide, and she's trying to make a version of the Sakai that will only poison Skia. Rusty, what is the research? Continue on that note. So we have a research from a radical scientist who's trying to work on mutation of eugenics that can also be used to kill the Skia. And what else is her research, Rusty?
And the actual results of that research are that instead of killing them, it can disable them for a day.
Okay, so it's very muted in its result. That's very nice, Rusty. A good flair that you added. Muted results, where I tried to make it something very vicious. You turned it back into something harmless. Conrad, what are you going to do? Go for the guts. Kill him.
It makes the Skia like the Verdigris.
How so? You mean as a symbiotic?
Their bodies can become the hosts of other creatures.
Host of other creatures. Is that like the man with 2 brains, that you would have a second personality in there, or is it physically a vampire type of thing?
I would say more vampiric, right?
Okay, vampiric.
He's there, but the Skia doesn't. He can't control himself.
Right, and I go to Laura. You have, unfortunately, this radical scientist notes, and you don't know about it, so you're not doing this quote unquote in character. You're doing this as a thought exercise. So we have this radical eugenic genocide against a race of the Tetraleague, but its results are not very powerful. But it does create sort of a flaw in the creature to allow them to be vampiric. So what do you add to the research?
And it should be the victims of the vampirics read, not the other way around, obviously.
Got it.
Maybe it kills a certain percentage of the...
Okay, what percentage eventually turns deadly? Is it low, like 3%, or is it high, like 100%?
So low, like 5%.
So there's a 5% fatality to other races.
From the vampire results.
Just from the whole, if this research comes to the end, and Mike, we're going to cap it off with you. You follow what's going on, right?
The vampirism only works against crews because of their no short-term memory.
Okay, so so is it the actual Sakai mutations, or does it mean that only the crews then can suck the mutated Skaya blood?
Sorry, I'm rephrasing. Only the crews can suck the Skia blood. Well,
I'd rather eat bio waste myself, but okay. Select the results. So now
not all science is good.
No, most science is not good. It depends on what you use it for. So
sometimes it's just,
This is the radical science that you learned, Fred. So I've got the notes here, and I'm just going to integrate it as part of the campaign over time, that we're going to get more and more information about who was responsible for funding her, what it ultimately the goal was, and what it ultimately was used for. It's just added to the campaign as color. But we're going to go into the epilogue now, and I'm going back to my wormhole map.
Is this experience beyond weird?
It would only be experience beyond weird for you, Rusty, and if you need it, you should ask Fred to share the information with you. But right now, you don't know as a character that even exists. But go ahead and ask Fred to share it with you.
Hey, Fred, you going to share the information
sure, I'll
with me?
share it with you guys later. I'll go back, because she's probably the traitor then if she's doing this stuff.
She's not the traitor, and you're going to find.
I was going to say this wouldn't be unrealistic for what's left.
Yeah, no, and this is what you're going to find about Era 10, Fred, is that everyone in Era 10 is just they're bizarre, because only the most bizarre people are normal, or I shouldn't say normal, but are capable of doing what we do, fight in the Tetraleague, run experiments. So. Yeah, everyone on that base is a secret.
At least one player would argue that the only people who were immune to the pacification virus were those who were insane to begin with.
And it's probably true. A form of insanity, at least. But we're going to go on to... Rusty, check your experience with beyond comprehension, especially if that gives you a level up. I won't check it as a cruise, because I think it probably isn't shocking enough, and I would never be convinced of it. But I will give it for anyone else who needs experience beyond comprehension. Except for, again, Tony and myself.
Yeah.
Unless you actually use the experimentation on Laura, and then we said, hey, Laura's as tasty as the ice cream dispenser, but I don't think I want to go that route in the game.
I'm willing to try.
No, I know you would, because you've lost a leg in another game system, but no, we're not going to hold that grudge between systems.
What ignoble do you think that gets you, Tony?
It'd be experiences beyond comprehension.
I would say if it gets me a leg, or takes a leg away from Laura, I'd say it'd be growth, maybe.
It would possibly grow a few inches by the
ambition.
Ambition, even better.
Ambition is always a good one. All right, so let's get us home in the epilogue. I actually have some sci-fi encounter tables that I'm slowly created for this.
Wormhole roots map?
Pardon, Mike?
Wormhole roots map?
Yeah, I'm just putting us here in Draconis just to, for giggles. And all we need to do is get home along the wormhole route that Bogus blew. And I have my encounter tables. Be nice if we flip the king right here. And we get an inverted martyr. An inverted martyr. Let's see what the martyr... Oh, the martyr's a special chart. What is the inverted martyr special chart? My martyr roll is... What is the suit? The suit is actually intrigue, and it's intrigue inverted. So intrigue inverted, A previous night encounter. Oh gosh, this is just ugly. Remember Wolfson?
Yep.
Wolfson has developed an appetite for Skia blood.
What could happen?
Because unfortunately, some of the experimentation has, perhaps while we were while we're loading the game, so we're going to have to put Wolfson's down before he injures our empath, Laura. So the first combat goes against you, Laura. I'm going to give you a flip of irregular, unfortunately, to start. In fact, we're all going to take an irregular action to start because we're taken by surprise. So let's go to those.
Is Tony ever really taken by surprise?
All the time.
Really? Probably, you're right. They may not be taken by surprise, but maybe we were sleeping. So I'm going to go to the irregular table, the void table, and I'm going to flip a card for everyone, but I'm going to start around the table with Laura. Laura, here's your card coming. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Bane, but it is. How about if we get a Maiden Bane irregular for Laura, please? In the chat.
Screen here. There you are.
Avoid the trap set to catch an impudent felon like you. Fail and lose his swaggering. Flare going forward, all party void card suits are Bane. Regardless of the method in which they're utilized. Difficulty 11, advantage skill saboteur.
Thanks, Laura.
I don't think I have.
It's not really thanks, Laura. It's in a way we can thank Fred for bringing this radical research aboard.
Thanks, Fred.
Fred?
I do not have saboteur. So let's see. 11. What can I do to get myself up? Do we have any minuses to the roll?
Nope.
No minuses, no pluses to the roll. You certainly we're in the epilogue. If you haven't used your spirited yet this game, you probably should activate it now.
I did that for the.
Thank you for keeping us honest. So let's see if you can go ahead and just and make that roll of an 11.
Oh wait, no, I didn't use my spirited. I used my my racial bonus. I utilized senses.
Can I check the command pip?
Yeah, that's what I was looking.
You know, Conrad, I looked that up. I thought that was a level 5. You can check the command pip.
So in other words, I can get the command pip for myself, correct?
Yeah.
No, I don't think you can get the command pip for yourself.
It's at level 5. I can get it. Okay.
Yeah, I think those were all level 5 bonuses that you can get additionally for the other abilities. Go ahead, Laura, and make that roll for us, please.
I'll go ahead and use my spirited and take the fury pip.
Okay, give me a 9 to save a swaggering. It can be lost from the boat, which is where we'll take it. And a 12 is successful. Mike, here's your card coming your way on a regular. How about a 2 Bane?
How about a 2 Bane? Sounds fantastic to me.
You guys need to stop taking all my Banes.
We'll leave plenty of Banes for you,
all
Rusty.
right.
43% of the deck is Banes. Refresh an online correspondence course is the guy's laugh, yet the life you save may be your own. Fail and KO'd plus all pips reset. Difficulty 10, advantage skill hostage negotiator. I am not a hostage negotiator. I think I will go ahead and activate my spirited. So I will go ahead and give myself a fury pip on this one.
2 dice, please.
Well, I'm debating if I want to blow a swaggering and activate my fierce to give me another +2.
Is that what Fierce would do on this?
Fierce. Sacrifice once per mission any swaggering, including ship, to gain Fury Pip for 1 encounter. Cannot sacrifice Glorious. Must be decided before first action.
Got it. So you can sacrifice 1 off the ship, and you can get double Fury Pip. Double Fury Pip will take out Wolfson.
Yeah.
We'll end this encounter.
Froster is our ship. No. It's Combat Abacus. You're
going to take off no taints. We're going to end up picking up a refugee ship along the way if you decide this. Just fate is going to put it in our way.
All right, I'm going to do it.
Okay, so Mike has ended the encounter. I go back to my encounter deck. That ends the battle for them.
Don't I still have to roll? I mean, I get a +4 on a 10.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, right, Mike.
6.
Thanks, Mike.
I failed. I'm knocked out. All pips reset.
Oh, that's sad. Okay, well, Laura lost her Fury Pip. You lost your Fury Pip with the reset. And I go on to Fred. Fred, who's got viciously wounded. Here's your card. How about an ace on irregular?
Okay, well, that's
At least it won't kill you.
someone post it.
Conrad got an ace. There you go.
Okay. Delay reload, as sometimes it's funnier to mess with death. Yeah, success to drive off one threat, reduce enemy ferocity above 5, difficulty 8, advantage skill brawler, which I do not have, so this is 2 dice.
2 dice for an 8 to win it.
Okay, so I can use, what is it?
Spirited will give you the Fury Pip for +2.
I'll do that.
Terrific. Give me a 6 on 2 dice.
Right?
6 to win.
Okay.
Here comes a 5. Oh, there's the 6.
It was a 5. That was pretty omniscient of you. But Fred has ended the battle a step after I said the battle was over. And for Fred, Mike, Laura, who actually had rolls here, you probably could check a battle for this.
Yeah, I already got it.
Level 3 battle?
I'll give you a level 3 battle on this guy. You know, it's significant enough. But we're going to go to Rusty, though. Rusty, Wolfson is he's ill. You could put him in freeze, cryogenic containment, or we can space him. Or you can have your own option if you wish. I don't want to.
So Wolfson's the person we captured who ratted out Wolf.
Why don't we give him to the scientist?
That's correct.
Right?
The scientist has already done something to him. That's why he wants to drink Laura's blood.
Yeah, you could just leave him on Draconis with the scientist.
He's coming back no matter what, dude. He's just a card flip away.
Yeah. So
maroon him on a rock or something where he won't be hating life as much, right? I mean, he'll hate life, but not as much as being experimented on for 1,000 years.
He's got a taste for Skia blood. I think we have to space him.
Are you Skia?
Okay. It's a good choice, Rusty, to space him.
Space him.
Okay.
He's coming back, I tell you.
We've got Skia.
He's coming back. Don't make him mad.
Rusty, don't space him. He'll come back if you want to.
Here comes the. I don't think Wolfson. I think we've seen the last of Wolfson. When we watch him.
What have I done?
On that one, that one
maybe.
Tony, you and I can finally check that experience beyond comprehension when we watch our friend be put in space and then sort of explode from his internal pressure.
Oh, I actually have experiences. Oh, wait. No, I don't. Actually, I lied. Okay, I can use that.
Okay, there you go.
Somebody reprogram him and make him think that he's
I'm going to flip the next card for encounters. And
Can I take heroic audacity for that?
How about prudence and forethought?
No, I need desires,
Well,
or I need ambition.
Desires or ambition.
Or heroics.
I'll let you check ambitious. If the revenge element was you were revenging the attack on Laura, it's not heroics.
Oh well, then I'll do revenge. Well, it was to protect Laura. And
yep. So take your ambition for protecting Laura. I flipped a queen, and a queen actually gets us back to bogus blue and safe.
Yay!
Okay.
I'm going to let you guys all do one more little test in the downtime. Heal your wounds. Fred, that was miraculous.
Yes.
You have my applause that you made it that long, because that was a long climax challenge that you had the wound on you. And let's all try to make our base a little better. Remember how I told you there was 8 things? Well, there are 7 left. I'll start with Tony.
What was the one that we have already?
We already knew some of them.
We have like command and control. So all of the.
I got some notes here. Let me. There, in the chat.
Okay.
What are we looking for? We need
excavation tools. Yeah, excavation
transport.
tools.
We need power. We have command and control. So we have a control center, and we've determined that we need excavation. We've determined we need transport. We determined we need power, and I don't think we'd narrowed down the rest of the 8. We were still guessing on that.
And so you're going to try to rig up some sort of excavation type of thing. On a roll of a 7, I'll let you pick up vice grips. Trying to teach the robots how to use vice grips.
Okay. Can I log it as glorious?
I will, but if you miss the roll, you're going to lose it.
Oof. Okay, at a 7, I can do that.
Okay,
I can lose vice grips. Here you go. Then there it is. It's gone.
That's unfortunate. So Tony was actually watching the robots, and the robots were trying to show him how to use his vice grips rather than vice versa. I go over to me and I skip me on this because I get a little bit too much insider information. Rusty, what do you try to add to our new Sakai mine in Mintaka?
Let's see. Can I try for the excavation crew?
You can. What do you use? What skill or swaggering do you use?
It has to be one that I have, right?
No, if it's one you have, I'll let you roll 3 dice for a 7. If it's one you don't have and you want to pick up a swaggering, it's 2 dice for a 7 to pick up a swaggering out of it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll try C cube then that I do not have. And
okay, give me a 7.
So 2 dice with a 7, right?
Sure, yeah. You're talking again to the robots. You're trying to get them remotely, and you figured it out. You said, wait a second, we can actually get the excavation stuff. You still don't have power to power it yet, but the robots are configured to start digging. If Mike, are you keeping track of this for the group? That'd be great.
Yep.
Terrific, thank you. Conrad, it's over to you.
Well, I suggested the power. I think power is very important, so that I would probably pick that one again. I have to pick a technique I have to unlock it glorious, or can I pick a technique that I don't have and check it?
You have all 3 choices. You may use a skill and get 3 dice for your 7. You may try to get a swaggering that you don't have on a 7, or you may try to lock something at glorious on a 7, but by missing it, you'll lose the swagger.
Might I also use any of my make rolls and/or any of my skills?
You may not,
okay,
because this is the epilogue and this is the aftermath.
Just to clarify there.
Yeah.
So as I perceive myself as being sort of robotically directed in life, I'm going to attempt to turn the power generation on with the older equipment that's on the place, the legacy models, if you will, which is
sounds good.
A Tinhead Q, and I'm looking for the 7. And
it's a perfect explanation of how that would come into play. Thank you.
There's the 9. Yep.
So you may pick that up, and now we have power, and it's over to you, Laura. What do we need on that base? We now have power. We now have command and control. We now have drill bits.
We have power. We have excavation. We have command and control.
So it's going to start up, but whether or not it's going to fall apart. I mean, because we know maintenance is also one that we don't have.
Tempted to go for Trip Crystal because I've got the transport skill now, but I'm gonna ask for soft serve ice cream instead.
Okay, so that would be actually on our ship, and we're actually in fact I'm gonna let you do it because I'll give you 1 chance on it. You want to repair the soft serve ice cream dispenser. How do you do that?
I use my I have extruding nozzle.
Okay, do you have extruding nozzle?
Oh, I'm going for something I don't have. Let me see.
Or pick one that you do have, Laura, and try to make it glorious. That way you don't have to. It doesn't have to come up randomly on the list, right?
Vice grips.
Vice grips. Give me 2 dice for a 7, and you're going to practice using your vice grips and unkink the soft serve dispenser functions on the ship. All right, and that'll be the last time that we'll have that option. But Fred, we have a base out there.
So we're trying to repair.
I'm sorry, Mike. It's up to you.
No, I was going to say we're trying to repair a base, and Laura chooses to repair the soft serve on the ship. That sounds like a growth ignoble for selfishness to me.
It isn't, because it probably isn't high enough level. I think what it was a fluke that she misunderstood what we all were doing. We didn't, or she over understood, or more than likely somebody made a sarcastic joke that she took literally. Hey, if you really want to help, Toots, why don't you get the soft serve ice cream working again? Now, I don't know who would say that, Mr. Keimer, but Mike, what would you do and what to try to establish? Because right now we got a rogue base that's mining ore. It's going to make a lot of noise. It's going to make attract a lot of attention.
Okay, the mine is still going to need some sort of defense grid because there are going to be raiders.
It's going to need some sort of external protection. That is correct. That's
right.
I don't know if you knew that or not.
Let me think. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for Starpoint Overload to try and lock that as glorious.
Okay, and you're going to try to make some sort of more permanent platform-based Starpoint.
Right?
Give me the roll. Are you trying to lock it as glorious or not?
Yes.
Okay. There's a chance you'll lose it, but all right. Fred, I'm over to you. I'm sorry that I jumped in.
For maintenance, I'm gonna use my protein calm to calm the everybody down and get to work on this. We need this have maintenance, keep everything off operation.
It sounds good. Did you need are you trying to lock that at glorious?
No, I already have it locked at glorious.
You already have it locked at glorious. You're just going to roll 3 dice for a 7 then.
Yeah.
Give me 3 dice for a 7.
Yeah,
and the maintenance functions are there. And he made it.
Man, there was a little bit of a...
So we got
foresight.
power, we got the excavation tools, we got the command and control functions working, we have the external protections working, and we have the maintenance part working. So I think there's one other that you know about, that's locomotion.
Right.
I go to Tony. Tony, there's one we know about, locomotion, there's 2 you haven't guessed yet.
Communications.
2 or 3 that haven't guessed yet.
Is the locomotion covered? Does that cover like the shipping of the or the refining of the stuff?
It doesn't really cover the refinery of the stuff. That's part of excavation, but it does cover the tossing the stuff out into space so that somebody will eventually get it.
Tony's already rolled on this table. He lost his script.
Yeah.
Imagine if you would, this base, and every so often it moves to another asteroid. Every so often it goes to some depot and leaves the material there for a salesperson. And that's what we don't have yet. It's stuck on one asteroid.
I see. So we need some way of locomotion. Okay, then I will try.
I mean, Skia could have done that, but...
I'm actually glad we have the soft serve dispenser again. That H is a nice function to have.
I'm actually going to use my DP targeting for this.
Okay.
And I'm actually just going to make it so it can go accurately from one place to the next.
It's like a navigation system you're supplying.
Yes.
You're saying that the jetpack functions, that's routine. The robots do that all the time to move around. They just need to know where to land. So go ahead and give me the roll.
I'm gonna roll 3 dice on this. I'm not gonna sacrifice DP targeting.
What?
3 6s. Okay, so 3 6s is there, and we go to that's it. I think that's full circle for us, right?
Well, Tony was the first roll, so he actually rolled twice. If you
I did roll
Tony
twice.
cheated.
Good point.
All right, so we're gonna cancel the DP targeting.
That's good,
Thanks,
Tony.
Mike,
You
for
didn't lose
keeping us
it.
honest.
Yes, I know.
And somebody's getting some love and attention as a pet, and we're gonna go ahead back to the next commander. Who is the lowest level around the table?
I'm level 2.
I'm 3.
It's probably going to be a level 2. Do we have any level 1s? No takers for level 1s. How about our level 2s?
Level 2.
Yeah, level 2.
Go ahead and put your name in the chat and say, I'm level 2, and then I'll roll against you. I got Keimer. I got Snapper, Tony. And I will pass on myself. Rusty is already gone. Thank you, Rusty. Nice job. And Groot has listed himself twice. He wants 2 votes in the election.
Well, I guess what I was doing is I'm saying I'm level 2, but I need 2 ignobles, and we could.
I'm just going to pick from
left.
Tony or Mike with a nice random die roll. Right? Is it even? It'll be Tony. Is it odd? It will be Mike. And an even or odd, it's Mike. So Mike, for some reason, the delegation of Keimer have said there are not enough Keimer promotions in Mace, and they even when told so what, they brought in 10 hats in, and 10 hats said yes. Mike, your character Groot is the de facto commander for this mission. Do you have Skimerian Cartel and Journeyman Cartel?
I have Journeyman Cartel. I will take Skimerian.
No, don't take it. Do you have it or not?
I do not have Skimerian.
Okay, so we start the game with the Journeyman Cartel. Do you see that duty roster on the tab?
Yes.
Okay, you may pick a mission off of that duty roster, or you may take us back to Mintaka to fully fully save the to find out who is the traitor?
You know, I'm tempted to just go ahead and go back to... Let's go back to Mintaka. We're partly done with that, and I think we should be able to finish that in today's session.
Okay.
Down to 5, right? So we know it was 6 before.
This is my first time as Sarge. Would that be a growth authority ignoble for level 2?
It would be.
That means I only need fame to level up.
We already know the route. I'm going to start us in Phase A as we try to get back to Draconis, where Fred's friend is. Fred, you should write down that Enzina's name as a friend. And you know what I'm going to also do? Fred, I'm going to let you pick up a proxy in the Mace design group for getting her off of the planet where her research was being stunted.
So what, did you just write proxy?
Yeah, it's like the top level ignoble, and it's a P. So if you click on the squad overview, it'll show you the ship ones. It'll show you the proxy ones, and you can also find those detailed.
What column is that in?
It's in command proxy. It's the farthest right.
Yeah, it's
command proxy P.
It's a P. It's like you had a P all the way down the board. But I just flipped a queen to start this mission off, Mike, so that got us partially the way there. Let me see if I can find my notes on this.
Sure.
And I go back up. A queen. Agent from the patron. So the patron comes and says, wait a second, guys, you forgot to do the most important thing of all. How many inventives do we have around the table? If you're inventive, go ahead and put yourself in the chat.
Laura is away from the table. I'm going to check her character.
Yeah, she's all 4. Okay, Groot. Groot gets our pad back working. Engineer Rusty gives the beep and ping alarms back. Laura gets us the ship is now Mace sanctioned. Any other inventives? I think we got Fred.
Yeah, I'm inventive.
So now the ship also has Matrix Core M. And I think that caps it. Conrad, are you inventive?
I put it in the chat, yes.
And we also picked up prize cargo again. We are halfway to full knowledge. And I flip another card for my... and I get the shuffle. Let's see if I can... what do I do? How do I shuffle? F12, right?
F12. It should ask you when you click it again.
Yeah, I just hit F12 and I shuffled right from them.
Deck was shuffled.
I cheated. And we're back in the encounter tables, and I'm going to flip a king. A king is a wonderful. A king is a cartel, a political faction. Historic figures of the campaign. Let me see if I have one here that I can introduce. One from Draconis would probably be good.
It should be Wolf, wondering where his son is. No.
Well, Wolfson was just what we were calling the guy. We're heading back to Draconis through the wormhole. A piece of wolf that's been spaced bounced off of the front module. That Laura could trip us all the way there on a 7. Why are we wasting time?
Because
so she doesn't lose her trip.
Yes, that's
skill.
I thought she marked it glorious. Is that not?
No, she could have marked it glorious, but
hold on, I just grabbed Laura. So what does she need to do? Roll a 7 to get us to Mintaka?
I'm half joking with you, Mike, because she could take us all the way there, but there's a chance to lose it too.
Sorry?
Someone's got a radio in the background.
Yeah, we didn't.
Sorry, TV's on. I will.
Yeah, didn't catch what you said, Red.
You could go all the way to Mintaka with the trip, but does she have the trip crystal marked as glorious? No, so there's a chance she'll lose it. Well, no, what am I saying? No, if she misses, she can't do it. Roll me a 7, Laura, to see if you can take us all the way to Mintaka. It won't reduce the encounters, Mike.
Could she make roll it to lock it, since we just reset those?
No.
Okay.
Because you're not. You really should do that in combat or as level advancement.
Well,
Laura says no. She's feeling a little tired. She's still got to work on refurbishing the trip crystal. And she says, "I'm not going to take orders."
You're making her doubt herself. Don't make her doubt herself.
I have trip transport,
from a chimer anyway. She ain't going to take orders from a chimer anyway. She says until you zap her with the suit codes.
I have trip transport, but if I roll it, can I lose it?
Now, Rusty, do you actually have trip transport S as a Terran?
Yeah, but I don't have it. I can't lock it as glorious.
Yeah, you would. You're right, and you also want to keep that a secret to a large degree, because if anyone finds out that you're an actual real Terran with that almost magic ability, they're probably going to put you in a special unit of the Battleborn, and you would end up playing a level 0 again.
Well, we already all have that one from last game. We all picked up a recombinant.
Oh yeah, well that's recombinant just means that you can rebuild your limbs through your force of mind and through nanites, let's say. But they actually have a funky power trip crystal which allows them to teleport. In essence, Fred. I'm going to go down to the Draconis here, and the hired gun Cromwell is the guy that sort of reaches out through space to us, and he says, "Hey, while you're passing Draconis, can you do me a favor? And can you handle one of my enemies here for me?" So, Mike, you got a guy asking you to perform a criminal hit in Draconis while you're there.
A criminal hit?
Well, I mean, what would you call it?
Well, depending on who he wants us to take out, it could be a Mace contract.
Let me, no, it's not a Mace. Let me preface this, okay? A hired gun Cromwell knows that if he uses his own weaponry to kill the labor organizer, he could get in trouble. So he's asking you to kill the labor organizer because he doesn't like him being on the planet of Draconis. Now and this sort of works up your alley because you don't like robots anyway either. So do you want to try to perform this unsanctioned act for hired gun Cromwell or not? This is the king encounter.
Oh, you were saying kill labor organizers up our alley because I don't like robots, and here I was thinking it's a non-military target. Why would I raid it?
Do it!
Somebody needs battle ignobles. All right,
I will absolutely take that crack shot. I can do that.
Yeah. All right. Why don't we fight some personal combat here? And you got the we're gonna make Lowell. He's gonna be level 4, and we need to beat him. And he's gonna have two guys with him. So there's 2 target minions of no defensive modifier, and 1 more with a defensive modifier. I assume we're all going to help Mike do this just because Mike's the leader, and when the commander attacks, we just go ahead and go, "Hey, we're in close combat. The commander is fighting," right?
They go, "Hey, we get ignobles."
Yeah, and from a personal standpoint, we also say, "Hey, we get ignobles." I'm trying to find the table here that gives me the defensive modifier for enemy defensive modifier for a level 4 is a 2, so we're minus 200 dice rolls. And Mike, we'll start with you. Did you want to do your command action or not, or did you want to?
I can do the command action, Mike, if you want.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
I'd be more comfortable as a Cruz if the Terran is actually assuming command at this point. But go ahead, Mike.
I'll take my command action for a round.
Here you go, Mike. It's new territory. How about a 9?
A 9.
And it's not a bang.
It's a good card. Deploy classic formation. Point scout forward, drawing fire. Heavy troopers close behind to retaliate. Success for command pip. Regardless, cancel enemy defensive modifier.
Very nice, Mike.
So long as you remain in this method. Difficulty 11. Advantage savvy generalissimo P. I do not have generalissimo P.
But we do have Bing Ping alarms.
We do have Bing Ping alarms. That's on the squad overview.
Yep.
So I will take that 3d8 for an 11 roll. There's a command pip for somebody, and
it actually counts for the whole group as +1, Mike, in this system. I go to Fred. Fred, would you like to go brash or assail or go irregular? Don't go irregular.
Assail.
Assail. How about if I give you a card and it will be an Bane Maiden on the assail, please?
Yeah, can someone post that?
Yeah, I get that.
It will be coming, yep.
Okay. Bound from the area, leap and jetpack as the enemy races in. Blitz, fail, and pinned. Regardless, your next half D8 methods become a regular player going forward. All party fidelity card suits are Bane, regardless of the method in which they are utilized. Difficulty 9. This wasn't a Bane card?
It is a Bane card, yes.
It's skill Minuteman, which I don't have. So what is this, an 8?
It will be an 8 with your command pip. That is correct.
Okay. Let's go. That's 2d8 then.
It's a 2d8 to avoid being pinned.
Yeah, I made it.
You made it, so you're not pinned, but unfortunately we still have the flare that we are going to consider the this method, fidelity, as Bane's, and regardless, half DA methods of irregular for you, unfortunately, and here it comes. 3. The next 3 times we reach you, assuming we get around the table, and I think we will, you're going to be taking irregular, Fred. The numbers are not difficult on irregular, but they do result with some a lot more vicious wounds. Tony, what would you like to do, sir? We already have our assail, and we already have our command. And Tony is muted. I'm going to assume that he's going to do our DOC function instead of leaving it to me. No,
Sorry.
You may take whatever you want. You may take support. You may take funky power. You may take assail. You may take brash.
Brash.
Brash. How about if I give you a queen bane, please?
Oh, thank you.
Sorry. Now they're coming.
Hesitantly advance into the ambush of inflating fire. Fail and vicious with +1 PM tally. Difficulty 5. Skill gung-ho. I am not gung-ho, but it's a 5. I think I can do that. Actually, it's a 4 with our +1.
That is correct.
I have succeeded.
Okay, very good. And I will go on to my character, and I will do my DOC function that I've been doing in the past. And I've got a maiden on DOC, if someone would like to post that as I go down to the actual table. Thank you, Mike. Slap some sense into someone freaking the fug out.
Tony.
Could be you. Success to safe... It's always got to be, sadly, a cruise. Success to safely retreat or remove one person shaken or pinned. There's no shaken or pinned. Advantage spirited. I am spirited. Advantage 10, 3 dice. 3 dice for 10. Now, I believe there's a flare, and while we go on to Rusty, I'll look it up, that if there is no shaken and pin, and you remove a shaken and pin, I might actually gain something for the party. I may not, though. Can't remember. Go ahead, Rusty. What would you like to do, sir? Support?
Support.
And you got yourself an 8 Bane.
Oh, I love the Banes. Let's see. Stand Sipping Joe next to an auxiliary machine as it overloads. Fail and knocked out. Difficulty 10. Advantage. Tin head sparks. Odor free. Let's see here. I do not have that. On a 10, which would be a 9, I get it. I got it.
Okay, nice. Terrific. You picked up your tin head sparks odor free, and you avoided being knocked out. Conrad, over to you. What would you like to do?
Sam.
The dock.
And
do we need a dock?
No, I did the dock.
No, we've done all 3.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you did do a dock.
Yes, I did the dock. I've been doing the dock. This is my second mission as dock. So thank you for your vote of confidence, Mr. Keimer, of course. Yikes. 3 Bane.
What method?
For Conrad.
A sail.
He was doing a sail.
3 Bane. I hate that. Got it. Think of Hot Chow as your command debates whether there's too much responsibility on your plate.
Yes,
There's never too much responsibility on your plate. Fail and suffer vicious. Plus all pips are reset. Difficulty 9. Advantage savvy warhorse M as in Michael. I am going to make roll that.
You're going to make roll that because you want to pick up Warhorse and you want to avoid the vicious wound. I don't want to take the vicious, right? Absolutely. Go ahead. I go on to Laura. Laura, would you like to do Funky Powers or would you like to do a sail?
Or something else.
No brash?
You can do brash.
You can go brash, absolutely. How about if I give you an 8 Bane?
Radio all's well as you have realized your impulsive actions have unnerved your leadership and monkey wrench the plan. Fail and suffer vicious, plus all pips reset. Difficulty 5, advantage trait fierce. Well, I am fierce, so...
3 dice.
3 dice for a 5. Should be an easy thing to get through.
Here comes the 4. Nope. There's an 11.
And Mike, I'm over to you.
I need to stay command to keep the death modifier down.
That's right. New round. Lowell has gone a full round without losing him or his 2 minions. Command for Mike. How about a 5 Bane, Mike?
How about a 5 Bane? Duck and cover at the telltale sound of incoming ship's artillery or RPG because an Era 10 ordnance is subsonic. Fail and knocked out. Difficulty 11. Advantage trait durable. I am durable. I will roll 3d8 for a 13.
And we do not suffer the penalty of the Bane. I go on to Fred. Fred, what would you like to do, sir?
I have to go regular.
How about if I give you a 10 Bane, a regular?
Oh, thanks. That's it.
Thank you, Fred, for
Okay.
keeping us honest.
Tumble from recoil, tangle, uniform, fail and knocked out, difficulty 10, advantage skill astronaut, which I don't have.
Oh, that's a perfect place to be, is knocked out, though.
We just have a +1.
I think it's already been used.
Only lasts for
it'll last through what, one round? But
one round, I think.
Was Fred the one that picked it up? Who got it?
So I will
picked it
make
up.
roll this.
No, it was yeah.
You do not need to make roll that, Fred. If you're knocked out, it's not going to hurt you a bit. And all it means is that you're not going to take cards in battle. If you really want to take cards in battle, you can avoid that by rolling the 10. You have you're level 2 or level 3?
Level 3.
You have 3 make rolls. If you wish, you can use one of the 3 make rolls.
Yeah.
Just roll it.
Just roll it because it's only knocked out.
Yeah. All right. We'll roll it. We'll roll it. Let's see what
Because
happens.
we're rated. Oh,
I
this
would,
is
for me, I would
this is the
save
beginning of a
the
mission.
make rolls for Vicious to avoid
Yeah.
Vicious.
Yeah, he's KO'd. Not a bad place to be.
I go to Tony. And Tony, what would you like to do, sir?
Well, I guess we're going to need an assail now. So I guess
How
I'll
about
do
if I give you a 4 Bane? God, that's like 5 or 6 Banes in a row, I believe.
Thanks, Fred.
New shuffle.
4 Bane, huh? Deny death.
Objectifying.
I'm sorry. I'm in the wrong one. I was looking at a sale. My bad.
I thought you did do a sale.
Yeah, but it's a.
I was looking at that. I was looking at the brash one. Sorry. Objectify and dehumanize whatever you're facing. It's candy ass compared to you. Fail and KO with +1 insanity. Difficulty 7. Skill Myrmidon. Well, I know I'm not a Myrmidon.
There's that Myrmidon
So.
again.
But I've succeeded.
Okay, I go on to my character, and I will do my DOC function, Chimer, and I get an 8, please. Take matters into your own hands, decide your own fate, as life has cruelly taught. Success for a dispatch, regardless, gain the Fury Pip. That's nice, but change method next round. I radio to Mike that I can no longer be the DOC due to my conscientious objector status. No, I need a 10 in order to dispatch one guy. I am not a colonist. That was not my background. 2 dice for 10, and I rolled an 11. So I bring down
No
one
longer
of the 2.
DOC because you're bloodthirsty.
I brought down one of the 2 minions, and I have to avoid being DOC. I have to change my method next round. I can come back to it. I go to Rusty. You going to do support again, sir?
Let's see. So you did DOC this time. We don't have to fill it in till next time, right?
That is correct.
Okay. Yeah, I'll stay with support. Wait a minute. Can support move to DOC for next round?
If support moves to DOC, yeah, you're good. No penalty.
Okay. Well, I'll plan on doing that next round.
How about a 5 in
DOC.
support, Rusty?
So 5 in support. Okay. It's not a Bane.
Not a Bane.
Get in on the fun and booty. Abandon your post, feeling your talents are wasted. They are. Success for dispatch, regardless for next action's card suit, decides the method.
So
Chimer
someone else
reduce difficulty by 3. I'm not a Chimer. Difficulty 15. Trait durable.
Well, if you wanted to make roll and kill one guy, I wouldn't do it.
Looking for that Bane, aren't you, Rusty?
I guess I'm going to look for that Bane.
This is what non-Banes look like,
yeah, this
buddy.
is what the non-Bane is.
I wanted my
He
Bane.
didn't dispatch. He comes running out to fight when he hears that I can't be DOC. He stepped into battle, I guess, a little bit early. Conrad, what would you like to do, sir?
I would like to assail.
How about if
I can't beat Doc next turn. So
a king?
It is not inverted either. Look at that.
My brother Tony always knows that if I can't beat Doc, he's going to step in and stand for the cruise. But go ahead.
Assail king. Scramble all the enemy waves. Bust their command and control. Success for catbird seat. Fail and pin. Regardless, party ignores the next half D8 Banes. Woohoo! Difficulty 10. Advantage EE suit. Magnetic pulse. E. As in Edward. Do we have any pluses at this point in the
None.
exciting? So E. And magnetic pulse would not benefit me here, right?
magnetic pulse.
It would
Good.
better
I
for
mean,
me here.
if you had it, you get 3 dice. We
I
have.
not only have it, but I have it locked at Glorious.
Give me 3 dice for a 10 then to avoid the to get your catbird seat, and you are not pinned. So you're going to pick up the +3 for next round. Laura, I rolled a 1 on the half D8, which means that you do not suffer a bane. Would you like to do Funky Power or Sail?
Funky or Sail? Bear in mind, you were a Sail last time.
I
so
would, if for party purposes,
Brash.
Laura, you should be building up your Funky since we don't have Bruce playing with us.
Let's do Brash last time.
You did.
No penalty if you move to Funky.
Okay, then I'll do Funky if
Okay,
we.
I apologize, but it's not a Bane. How about a Maiden? Funky Power.
Funky Main. Wait.
Cleanup required on aisle 1. Success to drive off 1 threat or reduce enemy ferocity above 5. Regardless, cancel enemy defensive modifier. Woo!
I'm already doing that.
So long as you remain in this method.
So can she.
Difficulty 13. Advantage Funky Biofeedback D. I don't think I have.
On a 13, you pick it up.
Yeah, that's never gonna happen.
Never?
What? Never.
Never.
Not Laura. That's not Laura. What happened to Laura?
Okay. Yep, I don't have it. So 2 dice.
2 dice for a 13.
Nope.
She did not get it, but there was no penalty for that. But we did cancel the defensive modifier as long as you do Funky. Mike, you're still doing Command,
I'm
correct?
going to stay Command because we might need to have Laura shift over to Doc. Now, we ignore that Bane, so I'm going to take...
No, we do not ignore that Bane, Mike, because it was only for a half D8 of future Banes, and Laura got the 1, so you're going to take that.
But she didn't
get a Bane. It's the next few Banes, is the way I read it.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Woohoo! Especially since you rolled only 1.
How about a
calling
queen,
for no
Mike?
Banes?
How about a queen,
Mike?
Well, it's going to be over with before I get there. So I want
After the detonation timing of fragmentation mines to match enemy encroachment, success for dispatch. Regardless, cancel enemy defensive modifier so long as you remained in this method. Laura on her last... Oh, she failed her last roll, so it's the second Gomer. Difficulty 6, advantage skill demolitions. I do have demolitions. He was built as a demolitions guy, this Chimer. So
roll,
3 dice.
Roll your 3 dice, and we're going to dispatch the second minion.
Boom.
Okay, I go
Move
over
him
to...
up like we threw him out of an airlock.
Fred was knocked unconscious. I go to Tony. We need a DOC, Tony.
Okay. Wait,
Tony, what would you do
DOC.
last
I will
round?
go with Sail. I will
You're gonna go
continue
Sail
to
again?
a Sail. Yes, I'll continue to a Sail.
Okay. You're letting our cause down. Somebody's gonna have to
Yep.
DOC.
Still drinking that coffee.
Obey
Is that a Bane or
instructions
not a Bane?
immediately.
Didn't we have more than one Bane?
It is a Bane. It's a Bane 3.
You're right, yeah. Think of Hot Chow as your command debates whether there's too much responsibility on your plate.
There
Fail and
is.
suffer vicious wound, plus all pips reset. Difficulty 9, advantage savvy warhorse. I think I am a savvy warhorse. I am a savvy warhorse. It's a 9. I will not try to lock it glorious. I'll just roll it.
Okay,
Hooray!
so there's no vicious wound.
Hooray!
You do that on a vicious wound there, Conrad.
And
Hooray!
I cannot choose DOC, so I'm going to choose. I guess I can. We're going to move from DOC probably over to.
Commander Sail, otherwise you're going to take a penalty.
Okay. Well, Mike is still commander, so I'm going to take a Sail, and I got myself a 10 a Sail. Rather do Brash than a Sail, but if someone would like to put it, use your front vantage to signal a quarterback sneak, a change in strategy. Success for dispatch. That would end the battle.
Yep.
Fail and pin. Regardless, player ignores the next half D8 Banes. I am a veteran. 3 dice to end this battle. Oh! Who did not give me a command pip?
Wah,
But how many Banes do
wah,
we...
wah.
We're going to ignore a grand total of 2 Banes. I go over to Rusty.
Now,
And
Rusty
your
is
pins,
determined
too.
by his suit.
Yeah, you have to pick the card and it determines what
That's
type
right.
of method.
Rusty, you're doing intrigue. Intrigue is going
that's
to be...
a funky
That's a
Bane.
funky power for Rusty. How about if we give him an inverted maiden?
Maiden Bane. Sorry, I almost put up the wrong
Doesn't
card.
that get
That is correct.
turned
It's
into a
canceled, so
non-bane?
We're
Correct.
going to give
Thank
him
you
the
for
non-Bane
explaining.
Maiden. He's got the cleanup required on aisle 1.
Cleanup required on aisle 1. Success to drive off 1 threat or reduce enemy ferocity by above 5. Regardless, cancel enemy defensive modifier so long as you remain in this method, which is funky. Difficulty 13. Advantage funky biofeedback. I don't
13
think
to
I
drive
have
away
funky
Lowell.
biofeedback. Let's
Make
see.
roll to end a battle and pick up a swaggering.
I wouldn't, but okay.
Not cool, but you know.
So I pick up
Yeah, it only
funky
drives them off. It's not worth
biofeedback with a make roll, right? And then the battle.
We only driving him off. I think Mike took out some sort of assurance with the other guy that he was going to end this.
Oh, okay. So driving him off doesn't do it.
Nope.
Okay, so
We do raise lower his ferocity by 1, but it's not going to matter anyway with the
his
amount of time.
velocity's already down to 0, right?
Correct.
So if
So
you
I'll
roll
just-
it and you pick it up, then you get
I'll
the
just
skill.
roll it.
Roll it and see if you pick it up. And we go on to Conrad, who's got the catbird seed.
He would like to assail.
How about if I give you Artifice, and that would be our second Bane we're going to cancel. How about a 6?
6 is good. I like 6s. Have Mr. Willie Pete personally delivered by a first-class mail bot. Success for catbird seed, fail, and change method next round. Difficulty 9. Advantage ship crew unshackled.
We have it.
As
Roll
an
it at
M.
3 dice. To
3
pick up the
dice, and I have the
seed
catbird
again.
looking for the 6.
You're looking for a 6 on 3 dice to go catbird again. Now, there is a catbird doubled, so let's see what catbird doubled does in a row. I think it may give us something else as a group. Go to my pips, and
Conrad get okay. I thought Conrad got the last catbird, which would expire with him. So I'm not sure if it's a double catbird.
I'm actually saying that it probably a catbird and catbird again. The catbird. Let's see. It is going to expire, but let's see if it reads how it reads. If the next event also generates a catbird seed, so this is the next event also generating the catbird seed, Mike. The character in some cases will capture the enemy battle's boss even before his minions are defeated. So yes, I'm going to interpret that Conrad has captured the guy Lowell. And then, Mike, you have to decide what you're going to do with the guy. You may claim that you didn't kill him. You may claim that you killed him, but all you're going to do is drop him off in the next system and tell him he has an enemy of that hired gun and not to return back to Draconis. Is it in your nature to just outright kill this helpless man, Mike?
I am a chimer. I did agree to kill him.
Well, it's an interesting interpretation. You can go ahead and play it that way.
I mean, he asked if we would kill the labor organizer.
What does he know as a chimer? He's going to forget it, right?
No, that's a cruise.
No, I'm a chimer. I took a contract to kill this guy. We got to kill him.
Mike, have you checked fame yet?
That's the last thing I need to level up.
Guess what? You are the killer of the labor organizer Lowell, and famous for it.
Yeah.
That's fine. I get skills for it. So
Good job.
Ouch. Okay. I'm trying to remember what the killer of Lord Skinny had to endure for many a year. We move on to the next
Just
encounter.
FYI that we check ignobles for that battle, of course, right? We don't already have battle.
We probably should check battle for that, I would think, at least, if we don't have it.
Can I get heroic?
Yes, you can get heroics for that. That was a level 4 guy. I'm sure there's going to be many things that we can pick up for that.
I pick up travel.
Sure.
Who was that again that we killed?
it's in the chat.
The
but
labor
it's gonna
organizer.
be organized with love.
I'm going to pick battle for that just by obeying my rules and falling out of the dock position for a turn.
So
I'm going to go on to the next flip in phase B. How about a 7? A 7 is not in phase.
Can Laura try again to just get us to the end?
Yeah. Well, even if Laura gets us to the end,
We still have the encounters. They just be in Mintaka.
that's double 7s is a campaign event related to travel. I'm going to say that the wormhole routes between. I got to go to my asteroid patrol. My asteroid patrol. So the route between Jerk Satyr and Draconis has been shut off momentarily. Laura,
Yikes.
you need to roll a 7 to save the party.
Yeah, our wormhole just got shut off on us. We got dumped in real space.
Give her a pep talk, Conrad.
Hey!
She don't
Good
need
job.
it. She
All right.
had a moment of
Good job.
doubt.
We arrive in Jerk Seder. Let me look up some of the consequences for that, the way we're arriving.
When you hit the home key, Red, it'll take you back to the top of the stack. By the way, if you didn't.
I think I found the card I wanted. If I click it again and those 7 comes up, I doubt it's going to be 3 7s. It could be.
Yeah.
We're going to do some tests. How about if we do some tests of? I'm looking. I'm trying to get to the bottom of my charts here. I need to get into my game.
Not the ice cream dispenser.
No, hopefully it's not related to the ice cream dispenser, but it could be. It could be related to our prize cargo as well. It's the last chart of the game, I believe, that I'm looking for. I'm trying to get to the very bottom here, and it's right before the closer, mitigation. Here it is. All right, so what sort of system flaws do I have? Let's start with the leader's weaknesses. The leader's weaknesses in this system... the leader, does he have any weaknesses? The leader does not have any weaknesses. It is forgotten and rebellious. Let's see, forgotten and rebellious are going to cause us... Yeah, here it is. The beep ping alarms are in jeopardy. So we need to do mitigation. To mitigate beep ping alarms, somebody needs to be Fusilier, jury rig, or scientist. I'm going to go around the table. Rusty, do you have Fusilier, jury rig, or scientist?
I have jury rig. Let's see, and that's it.
Okay, so you have, we got to look at how many swaggering we have. A little bit of a change in the whole thing here. I hit something that went cocked on me. Go back into the... Stop fighting with me, Epic Table. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So with 10, it's going to be, you don't have all 3, right? You have just
jury
one?
rig. Just one.
Roll me a 16 on 2 dice to prevent it from being lost, Rusty.
16? Okay.
We're going to go around the
Where
table.
did 16 come from, Red? Was that
It
nearly
came from
impossible?
It came from page 260 of the rule set. I just
Okay, so
compared
it's
the actual thing we're missing, and then I read the 3 skills that can help mitigate, and then depending upon how many total swaggering on the ship, it'll give you a degree of difficulty to save them. Conrad, do you have any of the 3 that I said to try to save our beep ping alarms? Fusilier, jury rig, or
I
scientist?
do have jury rig, but
Give
it
me
looks
that
like
nearly
it is
impossible
16,
roll,
right?
please.
16
Yep.
it is.
1 in 64.
Yeah, 1 in 64. It'd be a Marva. Doubles add and re-roll. No, not in this case. I go to Laura. Do you have Fusilier, jury rig, or scientist?
I have jury rig.
There she goes.
Give me 2 dice for a 16 to save our beep ping alarms. And Laura looks at him and says, nope, I can't help you.
16 on 2 dice.
2 dice. Not going to happen.
Don't doubt
Probably
yourself,
right.
Laura. Don't doubt.
Mike,
Don't let the Kyber
have
cause you to doubt.
you don't have any of those 3, correct?
Correct.
Mike points as commander to Fred. Fred, use your science stuff. Give us your best command of Fred to use his science stuff, Mike, commander. Group.
Right, use your science stuff. Wait, Stentorian voice?
Yeah, what was the other 2 skills?
A Fusilier and jury rig.
Okay, so I just have scientist, so 2d8 then?
It's going to be a 16 on 2 dice for you, sir. An almost impossible roll.
Can I kick in a swaggering technique?
No, not really in this case. I mean, what in particular were you going to try to morph into it?
What
were you gonna apply?
Kick in code patched.
Code patched. For the B, I'll give you +1 to your dice. You need a 15 or 16.
Okay.
See, Laura, you could have made that.
3 in 64.
Just
Okay, and Tony, do you have Fusilier,
close.
jury rig, or scientist?
Just
Nope,
hanging up
nothing.
20 is going to make
And
the
I
roll.
don't either, so we have lost the beep ping alarms. That's okay. This is part of the game, is that easy come, easy go aspect of the ship swaggering. So we just walk by, and people keep, for the last week, that little flashing light that was telling us that there's a fire in one of the control
Snapped the bulb
systems.
off.
We were all going, Hey, what does that alarm mean, or what does that beep, or somebody stop that thing from beeping, and then eventually Tony goes and hits it with his glove and crushes the console. I go on to phase B. I'm still moving in it. Is that 3 7s in a row? I can't believe
That is
it.
3 7s in a row.
It is not.
No,
It was just I didn't go back far enough. How about a martyr card? A martyr in encounters. Aren't they the funky ones? A martyr valor? Yeah, martyr is that ugly thing. It's like the major tarot. Valor. Valor martyr. For the remainder of travel encounter, knights also advance the phase like 10s. Oh, that works for me.
Not bad.
Okay. I flip a card and I got myself a 6. A 6 is in phase. What does that 6 in phase tells us? It tells us it's an anticlimactic. We actually look around, and what we thought, we went to Jerk Satyr. We find out that Laura has actually tripped us all the way back to... Are you wait for it?
Laura.
Waiting
Back
for
to
it.
Draconis. Laura's keeps practicing her trip crystal. We're in phase A again. I got a martyr card. And it is a martyr this time of commerce. A martyr of commerce, if I can fumble it out, tells me... I'm still looking.
Hurry up!
Carriage
Hurry
returns
up, you say.
here by accident.
Don't slow down.
1, 2, 3. I think I listed void twice for some reason.
It's okay.
Oh, here it is. Commerce. Commerce says all mission inconsequence encounters have less impact. Subtract 1 from the rank. Okay, so we're getting a little bit of a break here. A 10. A 10 gets us to Jerk Satyr. And guess what? Well, as we enter the system again, it gets just as ugly again. How about if we do test this time of our Mace Sanctioned? So who has Bureaucracy, Gung-Ho, and Veteran? I'll go around the table. Rusty, do you have Bureaucracy, Gung-Ho, or Veteran?
Let's see. Veteran.
Veteran. So give me a nearly impossible roll of 16 to save our Mace Sanctioned. And Conrad.
No, I don't believe I have any of those. Bureaucracy.
Gung-Ho and Veteran.
Yeah, I do not have any of those.
How about if I go to Laura? Bureaucracy, Gung-Ho, or Veteran, Laura?
Just roll it anyway.
How about to Mike? Bureaucracy, Gung-Ho, or Veteran?
Veteran.
Okay,
No
give me
good
2
roll.
dice for 16.
Nope.
And Fred, go for...
I have 2 of them.
2 of them. Fred's roll becomes a tasking. You need a 14 or better, Fred.
Is that 3d8 or
2d8.
2d8? But it's 14. Okay.
It's a 14. It's pretty
Yeah.
tough. And Tony, you have Veteran. All crews are
I do
Veteran.
have veteran.
You don't have
what's the-
Gung-Ho, and you do not have Bureaucracy, I take it, correct?
Yeah, what's the benefit of making this actually?
we don't lose.
You don't lose Make Sanction.
Oh, you know.
16 on 2 dice, please.
Yeah, so close.
And me, I made it.
It's not the alarms, Tony. You snap those off.
Yeah. So when they find out that we're mistreating our ship and that we broke our own internal alarm systems, they pull Mace sanction of this event. No, more than likely that somebody has influenced Mace to say that the return trip to Mintaka has already been crossed out of the duty roster.
Or
and has
Mace
not
doesn't
been
like the
updated.
fact that we killed the
We
labor
just
keeper.
didn't return the renewal.
Yes,
post.
we didn't put our stuff in here.
Check
I'm flipping
here
for-
to renew.
Flipping for phase B, and I got myself a 6. What happens? Laura just tripped us back to Draconis again. Thanks, Laura.
Thanks, Laura.
It's either that or Rusty secretly testing out. How about a night encounter? And a night encounter will get us back to Jerk Satyr, but we're going to pick up somebody aboard who probably is not friendly. Let me find somebody in Jerk Satyr we can pick up. Oh, this is a good one. How about if we get the Station Chief Hemingway? Another Hemingway aboard. He's a J.W. Walker guy, and he says he needs transport. He's a walker, and he needs to get to Matakan.
Walker?
I flip a card, and I get myself a deuce. That's going to be a personal event. Mike, who gets the personal event?
Anybody looking for a growth ignoble? Special?
Yeah, me, sure, anyone.
Yeah, me. I usually give
anyone.
to Lobie, right?
Anyone.
Oh, man.
Protocol.
If I get desires fulfilled, I go up to level 4, but you can give it to somebody else.
Let's give it to Rusty and get his desires fulfilled from him then, right?
Yep.
Okay, Rusty. Here's you're on that. Go to the squad overview matrix, if you would, and pick something
Squad
that you.
overview. Okay.
Yeah, and pick something in the first 6 or 7 there that we don't have that you think would be really nice if our ship would have again, or have for the first time. And I'm going to let you justify how you're going to roll 2 dice for a 7 and get it.
Okay.
Priority.
So I think we need. Let's see. We don't need the sensors because we're not going to go through a meteor storm.
Okay.
But
We don't need sense when we're going to an asteroid belt with glowing green pools of gas that hurt us.
no, but we're not. We're not going to go through there. We're just going to go back to the base, right?
Yes.
So we don't really need the flawless sensors that we lost before. I think we definitely need wormhole priority because we keep going backwards. So
Wormhole priority would be a really tough one to get, but it would be really nice as well. So how do you get wormhole priority, please?
Well, I have my trip transport funky power to get it back.
The 3 skills that typically you would use just as a guideline would be bureaucracy, politician, or protocol. I take it you don't have any of those 3, correct?
No.
Okay,
Get
so
back
you're actually
wormhole priority?
Yeah, because the wormhole
you gotta go
cartel,
talk to them.
it doesn't just allow people to open up wormholes.
Oh, it's a
anywhere unless you trust.
cartel. So wormhole priority is a cartel. Wormhole transport is with the cartel.
It's getting Jack Foster to give us a fast wormhole.
Yes, it's opening up those really big, really small compressions of space. If you want to be able to get on the horn and say, "Hey Foster, I need a connection between Bogus Blue and Jerk Satyr. Make it happen." That usually is going to take bureaucracy, protocol, and politician.
Well, see, I didn't understand what wormhole
No, I understand.
priority was.
That's why I'm explaining it. That doesn't mean you can't roll a 7 and get it. It just means you need to figure out of the skills you have, which ones sort of represent the same sort of thing. Do you have anything to justify it? You can even pick one that you want to pick up as swaggering, since this is a personal event.
Psych warfare, robber baron.
Those are skills, Mike.
Okay, for swaggerings.
If he's going to pick it up.
So the let's see. So like bureaucracy and diplomacy and everything. So détente.
Yeah, détente, excellent. It's a savvy détente. So roll me a 7 to pick up L, savvy détente, and we have also picked up the wormhole priority, sir.
Got it.
Look at that. And you may check your, what did you want to check for that you were saying?
Desire fulfilled.
It's like a Seinfeld
Absolutely.
episode. Rusty's making his rolls and Laura's not.
Unbelievable.
Mike, you may, do you have anything related to bureaucracy, protocol, or politician, please?
Bureaucracy, protocol, politician. Core recon, no. Closest thing I have is my Stentorian voice.
I will allow you to roll 2 dice on your Stentorian voice. If you make it, you'll lock it as glorious. If you miss it,
glorious.
It is already glorious?
Yep.
Even better, because I was going to say, no matter, you also, by making the roll, go ahead and roll 2 dice of 7. I'm going to give you proxy with the crime lords because you're a notorious assassin now.
Okay.
And Mike, you may pick up that proxy.
Assassin aboard.
Who is now we have gone from Rusty's Skimerian journeyman, more of a mercantile leader, to one who's now journeyman crime lord, who's more of a smuggler type of guy. But okay, so we got 15 minutes left. We'll see if we can get through travel encounters, and that's where we'll leave it. We're going to come back next week and play Cutlass. But I'm going to flip a card for travel encounters. And I got us a 4. A 4 is in phase, and it will advance the phase. All we need to do is face this ship-to-ship battle. Mike, do you want them to board, and we'll handle it by close combat, or do you want to fight this by using the tables for ship-to-ship? It's going to be a target number of 2, regardless.
Let's fight them ship-to-ship.
Okay, ship-to-ship. Ship-to-ship is always the better way to fight.
You want to destroy bad guy, right?
It's on a well, or you can run away. It's up to you. Do you want to destroy, board, or evade? It's a number 2.
Destroy.
You want to destroy, of course. Okay, we're gonna do.
Oh no! Wait! I'm sorry. I want a board. I like getting up close and personal. I am a chimer.
All right, we're going to target number to board of a 2. We're going to run 2 tables here, it seems like. So here's the first card for our board. It's a 5. Does somebody want to post a 5 board, or should I post it? Look at that. Somebody's already there. And the condition is 10-head error correcting K. We do not have it on the ship. So does anyone have any Ks besides the K of...
I have Starpoint Overload at Glorious.
I also got Starpoint.
Yeah, that doesn't count, unfortunately, because that's a lower order function than tin-head correcting. Any tin-head correcting
Fred's
K?
got Protean Calm.
At Glorious.
Okay, so Fred has got Protean Calm at Glorious. Terrific. Fred, you can read that out for us, the lay in wait by thrusting.
Is that this one that's posted up in here?
Yep.
Okay, lay in wait by thrusting into an asteroid field and shutting off all systems for a few days. Fix your position, avoid collision with planetismals, and keep from later drifting into an open area of detection. All tricky, but not impossible. Success to lower target by 1. Condition, tin-head aircraft K. Difficulty 11. Advantage, tin-head directed.
Tin-head task directed. You will roll an 11 and will reduce the target number from 2 to 1, and you'll pick up tin-head task directed, unless you already have it.
No.
Okay.
So, was it 2d8 for a 10?
Did you want to? Are you spirited, Fred?
Yes.
This may be, with only 7 or 8 minutes left in the adventure, this may be a good time to use that.
Okay.
So take +2 to the dice roll, see if you can get a 9 to pick up tin-head task directed.
Hey, there it is.
Okay, so we have a target number of 1, Mike, and mark down that you picked up I, Fred, and I'm going to put the second card of boarding actions. And how about a knight, Mike?
How about a knight?
And it's a harder condition. It's Patriot, Risorgimento. So does anyone have beautiful Risorgimento? I do not.
I have Risorgimento.
Oh, listen to that. We got a Risorgimento in our party. Rusty, do you have a Risorgimento?
Nope.
How about Conrad? Go ahead and make that roll, please.
And I don't have psychological warfare.
Go ahead and read it out for us as the first person that has the attempt.
Yeah, that's fine. So anger them into making a mistake, or more likely inspire your own crew with incentive to perform better. No, I said, maybe it's just picked on them. These schlubs, they don't know. Success with the tactics flare. If the squad voluntarily loses any ship or proxy swaggering, the enemy may be boarded, despite any target number remaining. Condition skill, Risorgimento. Difficulty 10, advantage skill psych warfare. So if we gave up a...
yeah, we could give up like that. We could give up the break room coffee, and we can go into boarding actions that Mike wanted.
I don't know that I could give up the break room coffee that easily.
Well, how about the PAV then?
How about we give up the trip crystal, because Laura just keeps taking us to Draconic
hull integrity,
and we've got wormhole priority.
Yeah, I think you got the right idea, Conrad. Just take away a hull integrity. It's something that we can easily get back.
We don't need that. Let's do that.
All right, we give up hull integrity. Does it matter if you? Why don't you make the roll and then see if we need to actually? Well, it's only for the tactics bib. Yeah. Okay. So go ahead and we'll give up a hull integrity, and we're going to ram their ship with our ship. That's a very Chimer thing to do.
I'll sit on the Fury Pip with my inventive. No, my.
Let's set this combat so that we can get somebody battle who might need it. So you guys are at least level 2 or level 3, or do we have a level 4?
3s.
Okay.
I'm level 4 now.
So we're going to put this as just 1 target number, because we only have you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go around the table. We're each going to take a brash action trying to reduce 1 target number. And that probably would be a good model for this.
So Red, I just did I set my Fury Pip. So this gives me the Fury Pip from the roll. So that's double Fury. I think that reduces them by 1 as well.
It does, but all we're going to do is just do a special flare here. We're going to going to all take a roll on a sail. Did I say sail or brash?
You said brash. But we can
brash. Let's all take a roll on brash. I'm going to start with Laura, since she's right on top.
Laura,
your card is a 5 on brash.
5 brash.
It's not a bane. Yeah. All it's going to do is you're only going to worry about negative effects to yourself or the potential of picking up swaggering. I'm just going to do one round of this and get us through it.
Shoot fish in a barrel as the enemy decides to swim, figuratively. The success for dispatch. Regardless, gain calculated method next round. Yay! Difficulty 7, advantage, opportunity fire.
Ours and Robert.
That gaining calculated method is wonderful too, because that means we ignore the first incident of vicious wound. We treat it instead as knockout if we don't use the calculated.
We do have break room coffee.
Yes, we do. It's nice for everyone. Laura, did you made your 7? So pick up opportunity fire, please. And I go on to Mike. Mike, how about if I give you the reshuffle? Let's give us a reshuffle. Let's give us 6 reshuffles. And here's your card, Mike. Here's a queen.
Inverted.
Yes, you have to result of the bane. It's some people get banes, some people don't.
Hesitantly advance, that doesn't sound like me, into an ambush of enfilading fire. Fail and gain vicious with +1 PM tally. Difficulty 5, advantage skill gung-ho. Am I gung-ho? I am not gung-ho, so I just need a 5 on 2 dice.
Another non-gung-ho chimer too, huh? Boy, you're wrecking my stereotype. Fred, I'm going to give you
one of the 10+ combat skills, of course.
I'm going to give you. I'm sure you'll have all 13 of them in another level. I'm going to go up to Fred. I'm going to give you an ace on brash.
Great
I would
card.
like to post that. Thank you.
Okay. Chuckle as you melt someone. Success for dispatch. Regardless, gain Fury Pip. Difficulty 6. Advantage EE suit. Direct plasma. I think the rest is missing.
Nope,
No, that's the whole thing. If you roll a 6, you have chuckled and melted somebody and picked up EE suit direct plasma. It's a nice one to have. It's very useful.
You varied the lead a little bit there. You melted someone and then you chuckled.
Well, he chuckled. So I'm also going to ask you, Fred, is this a character flaw you're picking up in the game?
I guess.
It's up to you. It's up to you, and you can check growth for that if you want to say. If you want to say you're bloodthirsty,
Why did you chuckle at fire?
You were involved a little bit with that eugenics research, which was interesting. Give me that 6 and pick up plasma.
Hey.
Okay, great.
So what do I call this flaw?
You can phrase it any way you like. It starts with the word chuckle as you melt somebody.
That was plasma torch H, right?
It was a Q. Direct plasma E. Q. And I go on to Tony. Tony, you got a 5.
Yes.
You get a 5, sir.
5, not inverted even. Shoot fish in a barrel as the enemy decides to swim. Figuratively, success for dispatch. Regardless, gain calculated method next round. Difficulty 7, advantage EE suit, opportunity fire R.
7 to pick it up.
7 to pick it up. Hey, there we go. There's a couple of 7s.
Hey, that's a nice one. I go on to mine. You mean I can't DOC? No, I don't need to. What do you mean I don't need to? This is experience. Okay, how about if I go delay and lay and wait? Success for the catbird seat. Fail, and your next card action decides the method. Both can be ignored. If the player just got here by selecting a random suit method, that's interesting. He would gain superstar status. On 11, I pick up Savvy Assassin's Eye. Since we reset our traits. Okay, point of order on this, Conrad. I'm allowing us as a group to reset our traits every week, so that means we probably don't reset our traits on
I reset
missions?
it at mission end. I did.
We also do on mission ends. Okay, well, I'll add 2 to this. I'll roll a 9 to see if I can pick up that Assassin's Eye and be inspired by my new commander. And I have done so. I'm going to pick up Assassin's Eye. And Rusty, your card will be a Knight, Bane.
Oh, I love the Banes.
Somebody had to get a bane.
Which is Lua?
Okay, so let's see. Spray fire in a 360-degree circle of destruction. Next time, perhaps think in Saradians.
I think it's supposed to be radians.
Oh, radians. Okay.
Right, 360 degrees.
There actually are
okay.
Steradians. Steradians, I think, are in 360 radians.
Okay, so the enemy was lurking above or below. Fail and knocked out. Regardless, add to wear and tear towards PM cycle. Difficulty 9, advantage EE suit incendies. So let's see here.
Incendiary is, see if you pick it up, Rusty, on a roll of a 9. Did you want to use, are you spirited, sir?
I'm spirited. I'll take the +2.
Yeah, take the +2. It won't really matter if you're knocked out. And he's knocked out. But you also, regardless, you should add one to your PM cycle. I should have made you all roll your PM cycle rolls during downtime. Somebody should keep me honest and make that happen. So radiants are basically radiance for a sphere. Thank you, Groot. And I go on to, did I use Conrad yet or not?
No, I have not gone yet.
Conrad is the last of the list here, and the last flip of the day. We're going to go to a 2.
Bane.
A deuce.
It's a Bane, yes.
Darn it. I have the tactics pip. I have the Fury Pip, and I do not have C. I don't believe I have C. So it is wrench off the limb of some guy armed with a chainsaw. Fail and suffer vicious. Difficulty 8. Advantage EE suit entrenching tool. And I do have entrenching tool, so I'm going to try to lock that at glorious with a roll of a 5, I believe.
Yep.
And since it's almost done for the night, I'm going to use my catbird seat as well. I'll make that a 2.
The catbird seat you pick up from what trait? I believe that's a level 5 one again.
I had that at Inventive. No, not. That's a 5er.
I think that's Inventive 5. Inventive 1 or Inventive 0 is the fact you add to the ship.
Ignores the events modifier. Okay, so 7 plus 3
I will
is
double
10.
check that, but I think...
I'll do it red while you're continuing here.
Different bonuses. What race are you?
Human.
Well, Terran, you mean?
There you go.
Well, then his advantage is at level 5, he gets to take the TV remote.
Yeah, he doesn't get a racial bonus.
Yeah, no racial bonus.
That's how I got catbird seat, was racial bonus.
A catbird seat was like a skiing a flare.
Yeah.
I think at higher level 5 and above, all of the traits have extra flares, but none of us are there yet. Okay, so that ends...
And,
You can
that
gain
marks
Fury
me.
Pip with Spirited.
Yeah.
yes, with Spirited you can gain the Fury Pip. That's its one modifier. Durable means you ignore your first wound and you check off Durable. Inventive means you add to the ship each mission. And Fierce means you are only shaken, which we haven't had any shakens in the game, which probably tells me I should have added more into the text. I'll have to make a shaken table specifically for the next climax when we get to it. And when you come back to play Era 10 in a couple of weeks or in several weeks, if we get bogged down in either not Barony, Outlands or Cutlass, finishing a mission, I will have fleshed out a little bit more on the... I actually have the layout for the Mintakan base at Walker Giant Star, and I will fully flesh it out and make sure that we have a marvelous climax for Commander Groot as we go forward.
Killing the labor organizer.